People, do you need to pee or anything, Dan? By the way, a little starting.
No, I have a diaper on.
Okay, cool.
Okay, God, it's the future.
Yeah,
the future of podcasting.
we never get classy guests, but we finally got one that knows he's in it for the long haul.
It's got a bidet attachment in the diaper. Just absolute waterworks down there. Just completely soaked.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It plunges in socks and it's got a flush on it. I'm basically just in a water slide in my pants right now. It's good. Actually crazy.
Anyways, Forehead Fables episode 100.
Yep.
And we got a guest, Mr. Dan Bell.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
I love going on shows I've never heard of, but
yeah. It's like 80% of our guests.
Yeah, they're like, who are these fellas?
Yeah.
And then they just see like maybe the views and they go, I don't get it, but that's whatever. Oh, come on.
But I did listen to one show. It was very good. So
oh, thanks.
What was your favorite part?
You
loved it so much.
Let's go ahead and move forward.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, if you love it as much as you say that you do.
Okay, well, I like having. Yeah, I'm glad we're both longtime fans of each other, but I'm glad that it's both a mutual thing.
Longtime fans.
All right. Well, do you want me to describe what you do to the people, or do you? Yeah, you want me to?
Unless I have to talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great for a podcast.
I do a podcast too, so I know.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love it. I've watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
I would name my favorite part right now, but it seems to slip my mind. Somewhere in the ether. I don't know. Sorry, Sam, as you were.
Oh, yeah. Dan, well, it seems to have two kind of avenues of media that you make, and they're both like urban exploration, right? And then what that is. Some of them are, you have the Dead Mall series where you go to like malls that are shutting down, and it's just kind of like weird liminal space type walkthroughs of these, kind of time capsules. Some of them are really cool. And then the other part is like you'll just find like a abandoned hospital and just go in there and you'll hear like homeless people skittering around upstairs, and you just walk in there by yourself, which is horrifying to me. But have you had like a run-in or anything where like somebody with like a broken bottle or anything coming at you?
That's content that would be in the video.
Yeah, that would.
Well, I mean, I have cut people out before.
Oh, really?
Simply because, and I don't think I've ever been like threatened. I can't, guys. I've been to so many places. I can't even remember half the time. Like somebody will say, "Oh, what happened? What about this time?" Lately, I've made. I went back and started making new videos again. I kind of took a break for like a couple of years, not working as often as I do now. And I noticed going back into this, like a lot of the buildings now are like, it's like needles and human shit. Are we allowed to say that? Are we allowed to
you can, yeah, you can say shit.
More the better, actually.
We'll bleep it out in post.
Yeah.
But there's like shit everywhere, and we did a video. I shot a video just about a month ago, and I went to this place called I call it the Meat Factory, but it was an old video that I did like probably 6 or 7 years ago, and it was this very large beef processing facility in Baltimore, and it was completely abandoned. And it literally, if you watch it looks like you're in Freddy's basement. I mean, that is just how incredible it looked inside. It was terrifying.
Freddy Fazbear or Freddy from
Nightmare Freddy?
Yeah, Elm Street Freddy. Okay, yeah. Wow, that is worse.
Yeah.
So across the street there was another building. I never went in there because the couple times I tried to get in, there were dogs. So there were probably like people living in there who had dogs. We went back there a month ago, And I hadn't been there in years, and the building was just, there was a giant hole in the wall. And we went in, and there was a man.
Eating dog.
You have to understand that this place is one of the most disgusting. I couldn't even get near it without wearing a respirator because the odor was so bad. The
What's
floors,
in it? Just like meat, like leftover meat from when it was a plant, or is it just like
closed in the
just
70s.
gross?
Just detritus.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's a decaying building.
Oh, okay.
So you've got,
Stinky brick.
That dude, I had stinky brick on the tip of my tongue. I was like, that's stupid. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, I will always take this dumbest route possible.
Stinky brick.
Well, it's just mold. It's mold, and
Okay,
then there's garbage everywhere from people going in there and throwing their garbage down. But this man, I saw this man laying on a mattress. I said, "Oh my God, here it was a dead body." But he was alive. I couldn't believe he was alive.
You pilfering his pockets when you found out, or were you?
I wanted to see if he had his wallet. No, I just I would have been searching for the crack. Actually,
Wait,
Wait,
treasure.
yeah, you do all this in Baltimore, right?
well, I mean, I used to do drugs, but I don't do them anymore.
No, I meant like the urban exploring, but yeah, drugs too. Yeah,
You do
but
drugs only in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I love urban exploring, but I found that there's a real difference between how it was 7 years ago and how it is now. Because now the places are just they're basically being used as housing for homeless people.
yeah.
And
Probably
I
a lot
wouldn't
more dangerous.
I wouldn't say homeless. I would say they're trap houses, which is basically a place where addicts go to use drugs.
Meat dwellers and such.
Yeah.
People attracted to the stench.
I mean, we've been into these houses but yeah, people think what I do is crazy. I mean, the malls are a lot easier.
Yeah.
Probably safer too, I would think.
But
Stocks.
there have been there have been times where I'm by myself and I'm just like, oh my God, what am I doing? And literally the whole time I'm filming, I'm just like fighting the urge to leave. And it's really bad because the way that I do the videos is it's like I want it to be like a horror movie or like a horror video game where you're like the character and you're walking through. That's kind of how I've always looked at it. And so for me, when it's like if I hear a noise, like you see these channels where it's like a bunch of kids and they're filming and they hear a noise and they take all 10 of them take off running. I stop and listen because it's so scary.
Yeah.
It puts a spell on the audience. And I love doing that. I love just making videos that the scarier the place, the happier I am because I know it's going to freak everyone out.
Dedication to your craft. We share that. We definitely all share that, and it's cool. Yeah, I mean, you've thought about getting a third-person camera. That way, people can pretend we're you.
Yeah.
Walking around those places.
Somebody, a company gave me a camera, a 360 camera.
Oh.
And I was using it, but it's such a pain in the ass when I'm filming in these
snagged
places.
when you're
like,
running. Yeah.
I was like this. I hate this, so I just sent it back.
Oh.
And they were like, "Well, maybe you need to understand." I said, "I completely understand the technology." I said, it's not there for me. It doesn't work, when I'm doing something like this,
Yeah. How do you do you have like
Water?
No, not water. I was gonna say the I'm sorry, never mind. You carry on.
Point.
Yeah, great point. I'm sorry.
All right.
I really
Good
fucked that one up.
question.
I lost it as soon as I was thinking of it.
We're good at our job.
Yeah, we're completely dedicated to the craft, like you said.
Yeah. A lot of questions prepared, so I'm sure he's got a backup question right now.
Yeah.
Well, while he's
Do you
drinking,
do you regret choosing Baltimore as the place to go urban exploring? I'm sorry, isn't it like an incredibly dangerous city? Like this is just the last place I
Well,
would.
I mean, I live here.
Yeah, I know you fucking live there,
I
but
think he wants to drive to another city to explore. Come on.
well, if the chances of me
No,
getting
I live
stabbed or something, yeah, I would probably choose a different place.
If you watch my channel, you're going to think Baltimore is the worst place on the planet because I never film any of the nice stuff because nobody wants to see that. They want to see
Yeah, true.
red
Well, my
shit.
exposure
falling
is
right
your
for-
videos and The Wire. Yeah.
The one
Bingo.
that makes it look badass.
It
okay?
does, yeah.
First off.
But the thing is, I try to make my videos as like not political and
Spooky.
and just more of a kind of a creepy kind of thing.
Which people love that like creepy vibe.
they
You know, that's something where
Yeah.
they wouldn't want to do themselves. They live through you, and they're just hoping you don't die. It's really cool.
I mean, if the video goes up, though, you know nothing happened.
yeah, true. Well, that'd be a cool final video. Is someone else talking at the beginning, like,
If
"Oh,
I
he
just-
found this on his bones."
Yeah, if I just disappear, that would be like,
Yeah,
yeah, that would be very scary.
people will be making videos about you, like what happened. You know, docu-series and stuff.
I
Good publicity.
yeah, like I live like the building I live in is you remember that Unsolved Mysteries where the guy jumped off the roof of the building and landed like 45 feet away. It was the Ray Rivera case. It was on the Netflix reboot of Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, I might have seen it then because I did watch that. Yeah.
I get too scared watching stuff like that. So
Well, I live in the building where that
Solve
happened.
mysteries.
What? Did he like catch a wind or something? What was that?
I don't know. I don't know
Like
how
a flying squirrel. He like
Mm.
he made it 45 feet out of his window.
It's a
No,
technique.
he got up
he
to
was
the roof.
thrown.
He got up to the roof, but there's
Okay.
not that much room up there to run. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
There's a physics phenomenon, right? If you were backflipping enough, his body
Yeah.
might start curving,
Maybe
and when they
It's
do
only- it's
backspin on
only
a
like-
basketball.
it's only 11, 12 stories. It's not that. It's
Yeah,
not high enough.
I could fit 50 backflips in that time, but yeah, I don't know about this guy.
Well, actually, 45 feet over 12 stories. I feel like I could do that. You fall at a diagonal.
But
right?
you don't. No,
Yeah.
No?
Well, I don't know.
They go
People
out
think
so
that-
far.
I
People
guess,
think
yeah.
that he was dropped out of a helicopter and all this. There's all this crazy.
Um,
45 feet's pretty
But he's-
miraculous.
Yeah.
Jump. If it's from the base of the building, like
that's
pretty-
insane. That yeah.
yeah,
So where are you guys located?
Indianapolis.
Tallahassee.
Toronto.
Oh, you're all over the place.
Yeah.
Don't make
Toronto,
Brian
I
talk
like.
about himself.
Indianapolis. That's all
Probably
right.
some great urban
Tallahassee.
exploring here.
Oh yeah.
Or
Yeah,
foraging,
absolutely.
whatever.
In Indianapolis. I love Toronto though.
You win,
Um,
Brian.
I almost moved there.
Oh,
I was considering moving there at one time, but I didn't do it.
why were you looking to move there? What drew
Um,
you to it?
I don't know, just change of scenery. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
that's
ever run out of places to explore and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna pick up and move.
Moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's always something to explore here. I mean, there's only what, like 20,000 vacant buildings or something. I mean, there are vacant buildings everywhere. So there's always something here, but I would like to go like somewhere else and look for stuff. Like I used to travel and go, all over the country and film videos all over the country. Back when I was really doing the mall videos. So I was, traveling around just filming malls everywhere. And I would find, abandoned places all the time. As a matter of fact, one of the, the Rolling Acres Mall, when I filmed that and I went there by myself, I was just so excited to get there. It took like 5 hours for me to drive there. It was in, where was that? Akron, Ohio. And I drove there, and then I found these kids. They were like riding dirt bikes around the parking lot. And I said, "Is there any way in here?" And the kid goes, "Yeah, back there." And so I climbed through a wall to get in. And once I was inside, I was like, "Oh man, this is awesome!" And I shot the place, and then like it was perfect. I was only in there maybe 30 or 35 minutes, and I hear all these people walking, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where is that coming from? And I turn around, and all of a sudden there's a cop. There must have been like 10 cops. And I was like, oh shit. But they didn't arrest me. Unbelievable. They didn't even give me a ticket.
We're
They're there to
hunting.
Do they just ask you what you're doing, or I guess once they see
I
you
got
not with
turned
drugs,
around.
yeah.
With a camera.
What the hell? I
See,
thought
now-
there
I
was a
think now it would be-
Blondie here.
I think now it would be so different because everyone is making YouTube videos now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what it is. Someone's making a YouTube video about it. But it's especially prevalent on abandoned places, and a lot of people who own abandoned places are actually on YouTube looking for people who've made videos there so they can press charges against them.
Oh,
That's a good idea. I should buy like an old abandoned place and make it as spooky as possible from the outside to lure
ghosts
people
and
in.
shit and skeletons.
I think YouTube's almost made it like impossible for people to secure a property, which is a shame. I never break in. Like, there has to be an open door or some easy way to get in. I know I have friends who are like, they climb up water spouts and climb through windows and
Sounds like
stuff. I don't know how they do
spider.
it.
Man, shit.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I don't do that. I'm too fat to climb up the side of a building. It would be like King Kong. But so there has to be like an easy way for me to get in. But now it's incredible to see, my Dead Mall series. I mean, it spawned like hundreds of channels of people filming dead malls. And back when I was doing it, every mall I put up was fresh. Now, if I want to go to a mall, 20 people have already been there. So
Yeah.
a lot has changed. A whole lot has changed.
That guy, God, what's it? Shai or Shlee or something? I forget I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's like he's a urbex guy that is in like one of those Soviet states, and he just rides around on a train. He like hitches rides on trains and goes exploring down in like Soviet bunkers and stuff.
Well,
and
that's
like, I feel like that's more of a rarity, and is a little bit. It's not as easy to kind of capture. Yeah, to replicate. It's like you need to do parkour in order to get down into this Soviet bunker. I don't know how he finds them and stuff, but those are always really cool. But it's like he's just riding on a train. You don't see people ever. There's like
about booby traps.
I know, or something.
Have you ever, Dan, stumbled across something that feels like a grander, design, some sort of conspiracy in any of these abandoned places? Perhaps an old factory with, you can hear, pounding in the center or something? Like any plots? It's
like whirring
it's
electronics
a typical place in a movie where a kid would stumble into and be like, "What?" And then the goons would go, "Get that kid." Does that ever happen? Does something like that happen to you?
Deep state secrets in an abandoned factory?
Yeah. Like they're working on, I don't know, an Iron Man or something in there. I don't know.
The video that I did recently on it was basically, I called it the Devil's Chair. I mean, it's a catchy title, but these two fans from Australia were here, and they wanted me to. They asked me if I would take them out, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take you out. So we went out. We found this. They found this building, and we went in and filmed the place. And in this one room, there's a chair with a cord tied to it and condoms all over the floor. And some people said, oh, it's a tourniquet. Somebody was using it to shoot up. To me, it looked like somebody had been tied down to the chair because there was a lot of scuffing on the floor in front of it. And the condoms everywhere. There must have been 30 or 40 condoms. it was so scary that after the guys from Australia went back home, I was here editing and I'm like, I really should go back by myself. So I went back by myself, and the fucked up thing was whoever had this little setup in there, they had taken the chair, thrown it in the corner, picked up all the condoms. They were gone, and like just cleaned the room up to like get rid of stuff. And I was like, I found this apartment in there that we didn't see, and obviously somebody was hanging out in this apartment. When I was getting ready to leave, I heard somebody back there mucking around, and I kept saying hello, hoping the person would come out, but they never came out. So I just
He's probably embarrassed you found his chair with all of his posh wanks. Yeah, his posh wanks.
That is the like truly. That's like a very horrifying sight. I bet those fans spit off a little more than they could chew. Okay?
Yeah, they were not used to bulk. I mean, when people come from like, I've had like fans come into town. Some, you know, I'll meet some of them. I don't go out with all of them, but you know, I remember it was like the first story a newspaper ever did on me. It was the Baltimore Sun, and the photographer and the journalist, they were like, I was taking them out to these abandoned buildings, and they were absolutely horrified. And it was just funny because I'm like, this is what you asked for. Like, what do you want me to do? And they're like taking pictures of me, like standing in a pile of garbage and stuff. And I mean, it was a sweet story, but they also asked the police what they thought of what I was doing. I was like, geez, man.
Yeah.
Like, could you just shut the fuck up about like that? But sometimes people come in and they're like, I can't do this. Like, you know, they're just like, we can't go in there. I can't do it. Which I totally understand. I totally get it.
Spooky. Slight segue. I want to get back to, you know, this urban exploring. But I also just took in a fan recently, turned friend. If you're a patron or a tier 3, you can come to my house. Okay, just had it happen. This man met my mother. Okay, he now knows every personal detail about my life. So, but it's when he was like,
could be you.
You know, I was thinking like, how do I trust this guy? He showed me he's a patron of the podcast. Well, oh my god, okay, this is a good guy.
Yeah,
stand-up guy,
salt of the earth.
Yeah,
these people.
So, it's really drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, come on over. Let's hang out.
He got to do stuff to me that a regular, you know, just fan wouldn't be able to, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But going back to urban exploring, I had a foray into it once when I was a child. We had a family reunion in some shitty place in southern Indiana, some town. My little cousins and I, we had one, you know, it's like the big cousin, but they're probably 2 years older than me. I was, 8 or something. They're like, let's go off, let's go do our own shit. Found a little place, a little broken brick wall, went in there. And I remember we found a bunch of it's like excavation equipment or something, just a lot of mechanisms that, the child mind can't comprehend. I wouldn't be able to understand what they are now because I'm not a toolsman. But there was like a backhoe dump with a bed in it. And we were so fucking, at this time, this might have been one of my first experiences with homeless people because I was just so young and from a town where there's no homeless people, we're just out in the woods.
Right.
And we were like, oh my God, I bet, this is probably people from way back in the day. Like, this is probably, some ancient civilization shit. Yeah. And then we heard people like, like coming into it. And it was, it's cool for a little kid. We're like, scatter. And we all ran away. Never saw my older cousin again, but she was kind of a bitch. But just, it was cool. It almost gave me the bug, and then I didn't do it. So it's a pretty good story.
Yeah, you just awakened a memory.
I always awaken a lot in you, and now
you awakened a memory in me, dude. There was like attached to the neighborhood
stories before.
I don't think I've told this one.
Okay.
I seriously, I don't. My brother's 5 years older than me, so I was always kind of like, trying to follow along with whatever he was doing. And him and his friends attached to our neighborhood, there was just like a weird dirt road that connected to this neighborhood that wasn't built at the same time. It is fucking horrific, but it was a largely black community that when they put down I-10, they were just like, fuck you guys, and they laid I-10 right down the middle of their community, and it cut off a little segment of the community on our side of I-10, and it was connected to our neighborhood. They had to make a new entrance road because they were like, fuck it, like we're now like right on the shoulder of the interstate. And back there, in like attached to that neighborhood, there was an old building that was used as a radio station, and it still had like these giant
cool.
dishes, you know, on the roof of the
Very
place,
cool.
and like big dishes out in a field and everything. And it was completely abandoned, hadn't been used in like, you know, years. And we went in there and played hide and go seek in that place, and I thought it was a
So
blast.
cool.
And we were running
Sweet.
around, and then we ended up laying in the dish, you know, like
Way
a
cooler
fucking
than-
movie.
Well, I was in like a brick factory or something, but go on. Very cool.
And so we're just like hanging out, laying in the dish, and I was like, dude, this is like core memories right here. You know, I forgot it until fucking right now,
Yeah,
but
core memory,
yeah,
yeah. What's
core
back?
memory, like just laying in a giant satellite dish
Probably
with
the
my
coolest
homies.
thing you've ever
I don't
done in
even-
your life, by the sounds of it. But
yeah.
You just forgot.
We left, and I was like, oh, I should go back there. And I went back there with my friend, and it was like a week later. And I remember specifically, you know, we kind of trashed the place a little bit because we're little shits, right? I remember going in, and shit was different in there. They had moved stuff, like someone had been there since.
Yeah.
And I got that feeling, like as soon as I entered, just hair like on the back of my neck, I was like, someone's here. You could just smell it. Like I didn't hear nothing. I just felt like eyes were on me, and I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, because I was a little kid, you know.
Yeah.
The intuition kicked in. But have you ever had like an instance where you were like, I should get the fuck out of here, and then you listened? You were actually like, I'm getting out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There was one time, and you know, when I was a kid, I was adventurous. I mean, you know, like if it was a abandoned place or whatever, I was there. So behind my mother's house at that time, this was a long time ago. This is kind of a scary story. There was this place. It was like a mud pit. We called it Glup Lakes.
Awesome
And it
name.
was- These kids, the kids and I would go back there, and I was probably like 10, 12, something like that. And we had a bunch of friends in the neighborhood that would go back with us. It was a little bit of a hike to get there. And there was mud that just would go up to your knee, and you'd lose your shoe. So you'd have to be really careful. I don't know why it was so fascinating to us, but there was one time I went back by myself, and I was got to the edge of Glup Lakes. I guess it was about maybe like, I don't know, like 50, 75 feet wide of this mud pit. And it was heavily forested. So it was like sticker bushes and pines and everything. It was not pines, like more like just shrubbery kind of trees, you know, but not full grown trees. And I was there, and I just stopped, and I got this just felt like fear just washed over me, like this incredible amount of fear. And I went, oh my God, what is, you know, just I was having trouble breathing, and I was like, what is going on? And I looked up, and there's a man standing about 15 feet away from me. Kind of the kind of guy that you would see in a nightmare.
On Elm Street.
He looked insane. I mean, he was dirty.
And he was standing in the mud.
He was
like
standing.
I was born of the mud.
He was
You're in my
standing
home.
on top of a. He was standing on top of a
Mud throne.
log, and he's like, hey, what's your name? And I said, Dan. I said, I gotta go. And I turned around, and this man started to book it towards me. and I ran, and the man, he got stuck. His leg went all the way down into the mud, and that was how I was able to get away.
Wow, that's
How old were you?
sweet.
I was probably like 11, 12 years old.
It's
So
scary.
that was really creepy. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, it's like, well, what is he running at you? No, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be
Yeah.
good.
No, anybody
gonna
that's
be good.
running at a kid, yeah, that's not good.
the
Not good.
first line,
Whatever.
hey, who are you? And then you
Yeah.
chase
So
him.
what's your name, buddy?
Just got
Chases
back from being
Yeah.
deployed or something. You're seeing your kid you've never seen. You should not run at a child ever.
yeah, I
Oh,
mean, it would have been nice if he had been
Like,
like, hey, I'm not a rapist.
Yeah. I
And
don't
then
have a
lunge
chair
at
with
you.
condoms.
Yeah.
I don't
Wanna
have
see
a
my
weird-
condom chair?
Yeah. Nothing weird going on. I just like hanging out in the mud.
My condom shit.
I've got action figures over here in this mud.
You know what's funny
Weird little boy.
is looking at your videos. Whenever I've seen like a couple where there's like occult stuff, and I see that, and instantly kind of like it makes it almost less scary because it's like it's just college kids or something like.
The occult shit is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, like sometimes you'll see like a pentagram or
True
whatever. And I'm
Detective,
like,
then it's
but-
creepy.
Yeah,
like what I know people on YouTube are like, oh my god, look at that.
yeah.
What is that gonna do?
I don't know.
If someone writes a star on the
Candles.
floor, like what is it gonna do?
Might be
Yeah,
bad luck. Maybe next time your leg gets stuck in mud. Oh, okay. My friend might be here. I'll be right back.
is that the tier 3 sub?
No, that already happened. This is my
okay.
IRL. One of my
He
best
survived.
friends.
I was about to say, that'd be-
it's a mud man coming to my house. I'm not sure. This is a little ahead of schedule. Okay, guys, carry on.
Brian, I'm just gonna assume that you've never had any sort of urban. You're
What,
an explorer
creepy
of the.
urban-
Yeah, you're the explorer of
That's
the
in my
internet.
room, bro.
Yeah.
That's I'm not going to freaky places. No,
Dude,
I hate that shit. No way.
Brian,
We're
what do you-
slowly
what do you do
prodding
for
him.
fun? What do you do for
What-
fun?
Yo, I'm a gamer for life, bro.
Gamer.
I mean, that's what everyone in here is pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's a gaming channel or whatever.
Yeah. But
I-
he
I stopped.
doesn't leave his room.
Oh,
It seems like
I gave it up.
you gave up gaming.
Yes.
oh, why?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is it ruining your life, or is it? Did you decide? You know what? Fuck
There's
it. I
been
want to.
nothing done.
Yeah.
Like I just was like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Kind of thing. I mean, I was having fun gaming. It was a lot of fun, but I just needed to separate myself from it because I wouldn't have gotten anything like what I'm doing now. I mean, I wouldn't have a job. This like career that I have just doing YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, I just devoted all my time to playing the games, and so eventually I just said I got to stop, and I stopped, and it was hard. Like Monday. Wait a minute, what's today? What was the 21st? Was it Monday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the 21st is 1 year that I quit smoking and drinking. Like I quit both at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
because-
I thought you were about to drop a date for the day you quit gaming. I was like, dude, this guy was
Yeah, right.
addicted.
Damn.
If you remember the fucking date you stopped, you uninstalled Half-Life or whatever, then you know you fucking gamed hard.
No, the gaming thing, it took me like a week. And there were times where I felt like there was nothing to do.
Mhm.
Or I'd be like, oh, I want to play. But then I'm like, no, don't do that. The smoking was much harder, you know.
Yeah.
The drinking was easy. The drinking I could take or leave. But the only reason I stopped drinking was because having a drink, if all I could think about was smoking. Like if I had a beer, I'm like, oh, it was just like, it was like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I know somebody like that.
Yeah.
So I
Um,
just had to give it
extreme.
all up.
yeah.
But I mean, you know,
There he is.
It was
Yeah.
not him. Oh, sorry. And also, I hate to interrupt. Actually, just keep going. I came in. to
no, you're
something.
fine.
I was
I'm
gonna
off
say,
on a-
these are not like style choice sunglasses. These are because my eyes are dilated. Need to address that.
I think
Unless
they
you
look
thought
great.
it was cooler.
Yeah, I
that I
think
was
they
just
look
wearing
cool.
future glasses. Then keep that going.
Yeah.
Pretty snazzy. I
Yeah,
drove to
pretty
the
snazzy.
liquor store to get this before this.
Why are your eyes dilated? Did you go to the ophthalmologist or something?
Yeah, I it was
At
just
10
that-
p.m. too.
It was that yearly. No, it was at like 6 or something.
Oh, okay.
I just have to go every year, and I forgot it was coming. And they texted me yesterday, so I did my due diligence, make sure I don't have anything. They said beautiful nerves, a little bit of darkness where the iris is or some shit. They said dark where the 20/20 is. Don't know what that means. I love that, like, when you go to a doctor or someone like this, they show you all this shit, and they're like, yeah, look at that. That looks good. I'm like, you're telling me I have no idea. That could mean I have cancer or something. Like, I didn't go to medical school, so I'm just going to take your word for it. I don't really need to see what my eyeball looks like on the inside. It's cool, I guess. What I always want to do, when you go to an eye doctor, and they shine that after they dilate your eyes, they have that bar, and it looks like you're in the Halo 1, like, charging screen. I want to know what they're seeing, and I was so close today to. I know she wouldn't let me, but I just want to be like, could we switch places for a second? And I look into your eye, and
They look at the back of your eye.
I know, but what did they see?
Yeah, what do they see? That's a good question.
I think that's what they call the optic plate.
Oh,
They're looking for the optic plate.
I'd rather see that than the shit they pull up on their computer. I would be fascinated.
Or cataracts or whatever.
Oh God, yeah. I hope I don't get goddamn
I
cataracts. I got such little going for me.
I went to the dermatologist, and my dermatologist removed a couple of moles that I had, and like a week went by, and then she called me, and I'm like getting ready to go to the airport, and I'm in such a hurry, but I'm like I don't want to take this call because she's gonna tell me I have like melanoma or something, and she's like, everything looks fine. And I'm like, good, great. I'm like, I'm trying to just get off the phone with her. I don't want to hear anymore. And then she's like, there was some slight swelling on both moles, but blah, blah, blah. And then we hung up. And then I'm on the plane, and I'm like, what does slight swelling of the moles mean? What does that mean?
Did they get larger after they come off?
Slightly
they're
bigger mole.
Yeah.
I don't know. I looked
turned
it
into
up.
grapes or something?
Tripling in size. My God, but you're fine. You're
What are
fine.
you talking about?
I know. Sam, you can relate from all story I've heard, but my family is like, you don't go to the doctor unless you're really fucked up. Yeah. And like, it is a little bit of, I think everyone's got a fear in the family of if you go, they'll tell you something real, and then there's no going, once it's better, ignorance is bliss. You can just not go to the doctor and just die randomly in your sleep one day, or you could go to the doctor, and then you got to sit in a bed for a while, and you got to do all these things. When I hung out with that tier 3, friend, we were with another like old timey friend of mine, and he was telling me a story I hadn't heard, where I have a scar. You can't see it now, but like under my eye, I've got one in between my eyes, but I have one here. And it's when we were kids, we're just doing little boy stuff. And I didn't even like this guy. You're at a party, there's a guy there you're not even friends with. You just got to deal with it. I thought he was an airhead. He had, what do we do in the woods? We sharpen sticks. We whittle all the time and stuff. And he fell backwards at one point and stabbed me right there with like this sharpened stick.
Oh, Christ.
And his mom called my mom. It was like, I think Sam needs to go to the doctor and get stitches. Mom didn't even ask to see it. No, she's like, no, he's fine. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's cool.
Jesus.
And I didn't need them, I guess. Mother's always right. But that's just, look at what it's like. Is he alive? Is it, if it's not bad enough for you to take him.
I grew up an extreme like hypochondriac. Even when I was a kid, I used to worry about
my
stuff.
mom calls me that bitch. I'm not.
I would say like I would tell my mom, oh my lower back hurts, and then we go to the doctor, and she's like, don't tell them your lower back hurts. Because
don't tell them about your pains.
What the hell are you talking about? Yeah. But she was right. There was nothing wrong with me. But still, she's like, they're going to want to look at your liver and blah. And I'm like, Ma, I don't think so. This was the 80s when they were just like, oh, you're...
The 80s.
It'll go away, kind of thing.
I had that a couple times with my dad where I'd be like, it's really bad. I'm a little kid. And he goes, okay, we can really go to the hospital if you think that's really bad, but no, it's very expensive. And, it's like, you're going to be at the hospital for a while, or you could stay here and watch movies. I'm like, well, it feels a little better. I don't know. Like, it doesn't actually, oh man, actually feels a lot better. And, you survive.
Because
So
now my
don't.
yearly physicals are like seeing like 5 doctors. I mean, literally, it's like the colonoscopy, and then the dentist, the eye doctor, dermatologist, and the GP. And it's like, you want to just jump
How
off.
fucking old are you, dude? You got like an old person's
Got a whole team.
like yeah. How old are you? When are you born?
I'm 46.
Oh, you're 40. Yeah, you're getting about that age where all them
Yeah.
doctor's appointments,
Yeah.
colonoscopies and shit.
Damn.
I
mean, it's not bad. It's just, this is whatever. It's preventative. But
yeah. Do you have one of those pill organizers?
are you
For the
fucking
week?
crazy? No.
Okay, dude, that's old.
No,
right?
I avoid every boomer like fucking thing like that I can, because like literally when we were like 21, we were like, yeah, we're gonna be dead by the time we're 28. It just didn't happen most of my friends it did, but then some of us survived. And I like this part of my life, it's like fun, but getting old is not.
It's hard. Yeah, people always say that. Where you're like, when I turn 50, I'm not gonna live to 50. And then you turn 50, and you go, I don't really want to die right now.
Yeah,
because I'm still living and I'm still here. I can read a book, and it's like, well, when I turn 70, I want to be dead. And then for some reason, 70-year-olds are always still wanting to live. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
It's not old anymore.
It
really
I guess
is.
Well, I mean, you spend
be a
like
president.
all of eternity being nothing, and you're only here for a short time. You might as well ride it for as long as you can.
I guess, but you got to make some noise.
Yeah,
noise.
You have it. Yeah, the people that are like scared to live because of I have to fight that. I have a lot of fear of just things. I have a lot of just like phobias and fears, and so I get very scared.
Nelly.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous boy, and
Nelly.
a little nervous Nelly.
Say it. Okay.
Yeah,
You
I'm a
got an
nervous Nelly, dude.
excuse. You got like kids now and shit.
But yeah, like I don't want to. There's this. You guys remember Woody's gamer tag? He's like the host of PK.
What was his gamer tag? I think it was. That's a funny joke.
That is.
No, you've talked about him enough.
Yeah,
yes,
he's got
I know
fucking
him, yeah.
kids, and he rides around on this big. It's like a chair with like a propeller on the back, and he just flies around up in the sky on like a little lawn chair. And I'm like, if you're just gonna go careening into the treetops and mangle yourself, you got kids, like you got dependents.
I am worried I'm going to be a bit of
funny
like
if it happened,
if I have kids, like a helicopter parent, going up in helicopters. And I'm just joking. Another awesome joke. I'm already with Pip. I'm very protective. I got to make sure everything's good for him. They say he's spoiled. But I went and saw, when we're taking the patron tour of my hometown, you then get to meet my older brother. And he's just a goddamn woodsman.
That's on the
through.
circuit?
Yeah, it's on the circuit.
Wow.
Okay.
He just, him and my nephew, I mean, it just couldn't be any different than the nephew's going to be well adjusted in time, but he's just like a little maniac, and they're just out there. It's just a pile of goddamn beer, and my brother's new thing, he's got a really badass bow, and he's like, yeah, I just kind of sit out here on my porch and shoot, arrows into that hot tub
Shoot off
cover.
my nephew's head. Or
Yeah,
my
and
kid's
my
head.
nephew's got his own bow.
Hot
with
tub
like,
cover,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
That is
hot
like
tub
the
cover.
most bachelor thing I've
I
ever
know.
heard.
Well, they just set out, and like my
That's
my
perfect,
cousin,
too. It's
or
huge.
My,
It's a huge
my
target.
nephew. Yeah, their cat creature had killed something. This was another visit, and I'm like, whoa, don't go near that dead like creature, or not the cat, but like the dead animal. And my nephew's like, shut up. And he goes over there and just grabs like a little dead squirrel and throws it in the woods. And I'm like, Jesus, my brother's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, he's
You're a
not
city
going to
boy now.
stop. Like, yeah, I know. And they all, it's something about it. I fill my role when I go back home. It's like I become what they think of me.
Yeah.
And I'm the city slicker now. And my little sister thinks I'm gay. My older brother thinks I'm, awesome. My nephew hates me. They just all, I'm just from a different world now because I live in the suburbs of Indianapolis, and it's their little, country heads can't get it in. But I kind of have a front and backyard now. So
There's
neighbors,
a lot of
neighbors.
A lot of pictures of Abby as a kid, just like doing.
God, I bet she was like a little fucking
She's like a little
trailer rat or something.
very much just like pictures of her just like laid out in a field next to a horse sleeping, like just like
That's
out
blissful.
in the.
That's a beautiful
Yeah.
picture.
She just did like just country kid shit all the time, and
I
was
was
just
never super like
never
that,
had
though.
shoes
I
on or
just did
anything.
it, you know.
And then she came and lived in the big city, Tallahassee, for about a year, and then all of a sudden she's like, ugh, like she won't.
Yeah.
She won't touch
So it
anything
happens
anymore. She
Quick.
won't-
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I hate doing it because when I go back, I even warned everyone. I'm like, don't wear white shorts. Why would you even? But like, don't wear anything light colored on your bottom half because all my mom's animals are gonna like get on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm halfway there. I'm like, gee, I'm wearing white linen shorts. Like, do I not remember anything? As soon as I get there, a goddamn bulldog sucker punch. It can jump up to your chest. I'm just like, it's. I don't know what it is. Yeah, you definitely like. I get home too. I feed into it. I'm like, oh my god, like what is all this? Not. I don't know what I become when I'm there. My mom and I, we've just got some dynamic. I've got what's that called? I have a.
Multiple personalities.
No, I don't have multiple. It'll come to me. A complex. I have a complex that's been growing for some time.
Complex?
No, well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I like to act like it around them, but they're all better than me, so it doesn't really work. It doesn't play well.
My uncle was like a blacksmith type guy and construction type guy, and he used to always whenever I would see him, he would grab my hands and he would inspect them because they never had any calluses on
God,
them.
I've got the softest hands in the world.
And he'd always grab them and he'd be like, "Hey, check out these Palace Boy hands." Like he would always just like he would
Old
call them
pussy
Palace,
hands here.
little Palace Boy hands. He would feel them up and laugh at them because this dude had calluses on his knuckles. Like he walked.
Blacksmith.
Yeah,
he's
Yeah,
different.
I never got how he got these, like just white plates of callus on his knuckles.
He's
He
missing
stopped
and hitting
hammering, he
his
started
knuckles with
punching
a
at him.
hammer. Yeah. My uncle did a different type of inspection when I'd see him, but
But also,
for a different podcast. Unless we want to talk about spooky stories still, of course. I was thinking too when I went upstairs, like you were talking to him about like core memory. Well, that was a cool thing. What you mentioned was actually like going to sitting a satellite. That's badass. I've never done that. But one of my core memories that got brought out when I was with this hometown friend I hadn't really hung out with in a couple of years when we went back was like there was one day where it was like goddamn 4th of July because by the public library in the woods we found a bunch of porcelain animals, like little animals made of porcelain just in the woods. And those long ass light bulbs that you're not supposed to breathe the shit that's in them. And for like 30 minutes, we just smashed everything we could. We just hit it with the brick, like, we're going crazy.
Yeah.
We're hitting each other with the lights, breathing
course,
in all this stuff. And that was such a, we thought about that for years. Like I remember when we went out there and then going back in that town, I'm like, hey man, you remember when we broke that? So cool. It's such a dumb, insignificant thing, but it's cool that that kind of group bonding can really be brought into your later life.
Thanks for wrapping up that story nicely, like a fucking motivational speaker.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm really trying to get better at my endings. The story. Gonna leave them on a more
Wow, that was
uplifting
really
note.
profound.
Thank you. I'm trying to get into the profound lately, so I'm just kind of experimenting with it.
you were talking about an
We all
abandoned radio
experiment.
station. You guys know who Adam the Woo is?
Adam the Woo. Cool
Yeah,
name.
this guy, he was the one who sort of like inspired me to do YouTube or whatever. And he's down in Florida. And this one time I was in Florida, I used to rent a house down in Bradenton, just so I didn't have to spend September, October, November here where the fall comes in because I get depressed.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I would just stay in Florida. It was like endless summer. But Adam and I went to this place called Lehigh Acres, which is like it was like the housing crisis. It was like ground zero for the housing crisis. And just abandoned houses everywhere. It was horrible. But we were in the middle of nowhere in this place because it's huge, this Lehigh Acres. And we found this like little dirt road, and it went through a bunch of kind of a swampy area, and we get back to this open space, and there's a building the size of a shed with a satellite, and it's a radio station. And it's got the call numbers on the side of the building. This place was so tiny. So I turned it onto the radio station, and it's this creepy religious shit. And the guy is like, the guy's like talking, and I'm like, wonder if he's inside. Like we should knock on the door.
Yeah, you should tip it over.
Interrupted. I was too afraid. I was like, that was the creepiest thing I've ever seen, because it was literally in the middle of nowhere. Like this little tiny AM Christian radio station.
Playing to no one.
And the guy's talking to himself, doing a sermon, but I don't know if it was pre-recorded or if he was actually inside that little tiny fucking building.
It's like Twitch streaming. He's just in there preaching to
Just-
no choir.
Yeah.
Just rambling.
That is kind of creepy when the religious aspect of it. He's just in the middle of nowhere.
What if you went in there and he's a skeleton that's been playing for 100 years?
Yeah, I mean,
That could
that's when
That
I
could be a
would
thing.
That would be horrific, yeah.
start screaming.
And he scream and he goes, "Oh, that's just my prop skeleton," and he was actually in the corner. That could happen.
So have you guys ever had any sort of, I always like to ask people this, but have you guys ever had any sort of like paranormal experiences?
Oh, no.
Really breaching into our October content.
Yeah, you're
but
kind of.
yeah,
No, you know what this is? This is a sneak peek for all kinds of stuff we're going to be talking about in October. I haven't, but I know my mom claims to have, and I know a bunch of people that have, but I don't think there's ever been anything like paranormal. Now, if we're getting into cryptids, I don't know if that's necessarily paranormal, but lots of cryptids where I'm from. Paranormal, not so much.
Have you ever experienced like a cryptid kind of?
Experienced. Try tasted. Yeah. I've been inside and around many a cryptid in mine, Indiana. Typical style.
You blow one of them or something?
That's exactly what I was getting at. Or eat out. Yeah, either one. You're in the right track, though. You're somewhere, it depends on the cryptid. No.
Wait, what cryptids are even in Indiana? Do you have like the Mothman or something? Like
Scary uncle
scary.
doing inspections and dressing like a
Well,
werewolf.
there's Bigfoot, there's Sasquatch. And
Yeah,
then,
there could be a Sasquatch in southern Indiana. It's very mountainous, little. I actually saw a cool infographic lately where, I don't want to get into this.
Oh, is it
Again, not again.
It's about glaciers and stuff and why northern Indiana is so flat. There's actually a line right through little southern Indiana where it stops, and then that's why it becomes so hilly in the south. Very cool. During the
I
last
thought you were going to
Age.
talk about cryptid ranges of like where they.
Well, they can wander. I mean, some of them have wings, for God's sake. But
Yeah.
no, have you ever experienced, Dan, any of the? Well, I assume you have some sort of paranormal story if you bring it up, or maybe you don't.
I mean, I think a lot of the stuff in the videos that people they always hear voices. They always attribute sounds that I'll hear in these places to paranormal things. I'm trying to think like I mean, Baltimore is like a very haunted city. And I live in the most haunted building in the entire city. This is an
The
old
man that flew.
Yeah.
well, this I live in an old hotel. So this used to be like the Trump
Ooh.
Tower of Baltimore back in the day, and now it's condominiums. But a lot of people that live here, they always say they have weird experiences and stuff. There's a couple things that stick out in my mind. Filming though, see, I'll say, "Oh, I don't think so," but then somebody will say, "Wait, do you remember?" Christ, it's like fucking dementia.
I know exactly what you're going through.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Well, because it's like you think I've made like probably 500 videos. It's very hard. It's just like I can't go into the archive in my head and be like,
Trust me.
oh, you know, that
I
one.
know exactly what you're talking about. I got
Because
a lot of videos too, and people are like, "Do you remember saying this from like 2016?" I'm like, "What the fuck do you
And I'm
think,
like,
dude?"
no.
I get people that bring up like something we talked about 2 months ago. How do you expect me to remember that?
No,
I just blah blah. You know, I just
Yeah.
talk. I'm not listening to myself.
Dude, I actually came across a video of ours from I think it was like 2016,
Oh.
and I was like, I didn't even know I knew you then. First of all,
So that's the year of our meeting. Yeah.
and then I didn't know we had played this game together, nor do I remember
game was
making
it?
the video. It was a Rainbow Six Siege video.
I don't remember
And we're
that
like,
at all, yeah.
and Stalt's in it too. I was like, I knew him too back then. Damn, dude. I was like,
Dream, and you were there.
yeah,
you were
dude.
there.
What's funny though is if you guys find it, Poob sounds so young. Your voice
Dude, I
is
think
like
I
an
had
octave.
hit puberty the summer before that. I mean,
Yeah,
I
because you got a
screamed
deep
once in
voice
my
now,
life.
but in that video, it's funny,
You
dude. You're
smoke
definitely
enough,
a kid.
you scream enough, and
For
you
Mike
kinda,
too, maybe.
Yeah, that's the mic. I've actually got this modifier on it. When I take it away, I kind of sound like that. But yeah, it's just
It all
another funny
depends.
bit. I do a lot of
Sounds
bits around here, Dan. So
It all depends on the mic, and if you smoke, it does make your voice sound very nice for this kind of thing.
that's
If you're
why I do
doing-
it. They keep getting on me
Podcast
about I'm
and
always talking about cigarettes. I do it for my craft, you know.
Smoke
I'm
a
trying to
jab.
get
How
an
many-
Alec Baldwin
How many cigarettes do you smoke every day?
daily. I mean, now we really are talking about it a lot, but not daily. I don't smoke any, but you get me.
Hold on.
Unfortunately, I am
Oh,
there's no
you're
denying
drunk.
it. I'm fully addicted to nicotine. There's certainly no way around it. I think about it a lot, and when I get a couple beers, I want to go to a bar right now and beg.
Right.
I,
Yeah.
I would do some crazy stuff for like 3 of them. And
I just quit. So just didn't quit. The
you
Monday
got
was
some extras laying around, or what? Are you trying to
Monday,
offload some
Monday was my
bucks?
1 year. So I hadn't
congratulations.
smoked. I quit in 1 year, but I smoked like 3 packs a day. I mean, that's like no shit. Like I literally love cigarettes.
Yeah,
I fucking love cigarettes. When people smell like cigarettes, I'm like, oh, they're so lucky. And when people are smoking outside, I'm like, oh. But
Dude, I'm sorry, but the third person camera while doing Urbex at night would be fucking awesome if you're also just smoking a
Chain smoker.
cigarette. Yeah.
Every 2
Just
seconds.
exploring a place with a fucking lit cigarette would be hilarious.
I'm usually wearing a respirator because
Really?
I got sick one time from mold, and that was the worst experience of my life. It was horrible, so not worth it. But it was at the beginning. I didn't realize like you could just be exposed to mold for like 1 minute and get severely ill.
Yeah.
I gotta do some
no
work in my
idea.
bathroom. Whoa. Dang. Okay.
The cigarette thing, like, dude, I had to stop drinking because
See, it's such an activator. When I drink,
like
I'm
I was saying,
immediately.
it's like peanut butter and jelly. I cannot, like, if I went out tonight and had a beer, all I would think about is smoking a cigarette. So
You know what? It's bad with me too because the almost the competition of trying to find one at a bar and like being able to. Something weird. You know, when I get drunk, I just become. I'm already like a bit of. I think naturally like a little bit of a people pleaser. You know, I like everything to be copacetic.
Yeah.
When I get drunk, I'm just obnoxious with how much I'm like talking to every person there, compliment every fucking outfit. And then I get a cigarette from one guy, introduce him to another guy I've never met this night. You know, I'm just trying to get everyone to be friends. In the cigarette aspect, it's always like, they're always the coolest people outside. You know, I got there. I'll give you 2 for 1.
Can you smoke in the bars in Indiana or no?
Certain ones, but not really. And honestly, I like going outside to get a breath of fresh air. So
Right. Yeah.
no problem with me. But there's set ones for it. I don't even know if it's legal, actually. But there are bars here where you can smoke inside.
Well, in Toronto, I mean, the smoking is like, it is so like militant as to where you can smoke.
I love
And
where this
how much is
conversation's
a pack of
gone.
cigarettes in Canada? Isn't it like $35 or something?
Brian, you smoke a lot.
No, I don't smoke, but it's not that bad. I
You
think
would
now
if
it's
you had
probably,
a couple beers in you,
probably
dude.
like God, I don't know, like $15 maybe.
Wait,
Oh,
for a
Smoke a
pack?
cigarette at
Depends,
TwitchCon?
though. Like 10 to 15. Depends on, like, also depends. Like, I don't buy them, so. I've
Are
only,
you
like,
talking for a
bought-
pack of cigarettes? It's 10 or 15 bucks?
Yeah, like a large,
That's insane.
I guess.
I was paying
Why, how much is
$11.
it there?
I was paying $11 a pack.
Holy
But
shit.
it's
Yeah, see,
Canadian
people
too,
told
so,
me
you know,
that
you
they
gotta
went
convert
up.
it.
I was still thinking of like, I think I've talked about this before.
So it was like $33 a day. So if you do that,
Oh.
times,
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's like ordering an Uber Eats every day. I
Yeah.
mean, you really, you could
I
have
mean,
got a cold sandwich for that price.
yeah, I just I had to quit. Otherwise,
You'd explode.
I would just end up like my grandparents, and I just don't want to. You know, it's
You don't
like
wanna be
it's
that
not
guy.
worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I went through college. All my friends,
How,
you know,
old
it's
are you? How old are you, man?
I'm 25.
Oh, just keep smoking.
Okay, yeah, see, fair. Yeah, I'll never
Yeah,
regret
I
it.
used to be
No,
smoking.
I made it through high school and college with never even really daring. And Juuls hit so hard in Indiana, probably in a lot of places, but in Indiana, like my freshman year, everyone's smoking them in class, blowing them in their fucking shirts or ghosting them or whatever. And I was always like, no, sir, no, sirree. I'm Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And then post college, you get a little more loose or something. And it's like you have one drunk cigarette. This is awesome. I did try, like a week ago, I tried to dry. I hadn't had a sip of beer in me, and a guy's like, "Here, take this." It tastes like goddamn dog shit. Like I don't know. I was like,
So you have to have a cocktail or beer or
Yeah.
something with you to.
probably not anymore at this level of addiction. Probably not, but I'd prefer it. A little bit of some sort of layer on the throat
Lubrication.
first. Yeah, lubrication. Thank you, Brian.
Because I would always tell people, I'm like, let's go to my apartment because here we can all sit down and we can smoke inside.
I've got some
Instead of
great
going to the bar,
ashtrays
we
too.
have
Some
to get
vintage
up every
ashtrays.
5 minutes. It's like so annoying. I just love like just having the cigarettes in front of me and
Yeah.
the beer, and then people around, and we just drink beer and smoke cigarettes.
I don't even like smoking weed in my house though. We go outside for that. So cigarettes, we'd never. My roommate simply wouldn't allow it inside. But I've got an awesome stacking ashtray. It's like 5 ashtrays. When am I gonna get 5 people here to smoke something that can be ashed into it? I don't know, but waiting.
I
Yeah.
miss all my ashtrays because I had some really fabulous.
Got a Garfield one.
ashtrays.
I've got a cool
Collection
Garfield one
ones,
too.
collectibles.
Yeah, I've got 2 that are pretty cool.
Dude,
Never used them.
my great aunt, when she passed, there was just like all these like 1950s, 1960s ashtrays in her house, and I was like, you can't get rid of them. And so I have this. It's like a fucking ashtray for a conference table or something. It has, the little divots for cigarettes. It has like 25 of them on there. It's long as shit.
It's
And she used to just fill that fucking thing up because she would.
coolest
Just like
group of guys ever gonna sit
constantly
there one
smoking.
day and fucking smoke 25. Knights of the Round
Conference,
Table,
yes.
dude. That's some serious stuff. Do you see the cigarette smoker on the last podcast? The guy we were talking about?
Yeah.
He commented on it. That was very cool.
Yeah.
Dips it in.
What are you
Monster or
watching
whatever.
right now?
It was almost part of my creative process. I mean,
I
honestly,
forgot your name, sorry.
like I couldn't edit without smoking.
Well, it feels like you're working.
Yeah,
I feel you
Mad
see
Men.
someone. Yeah, you see someone at a desk smoking a cigarette. It's like instantly, it's like stressful
That guy's-
work. Yeah,
that
that
guy's-
guy's doing shit. He's
He's doing
Yeah.
he's
shit, yeah.
focused.
if I'm writing something or if I'm editing something, I would just it was just natural to have a cigarette. I'd have one in my hand. I'd look down and there'd be one lit in the ashtray. It's sitting there because I would forget I had one already lit up.
Doesn't
That's
make me
horrible.
want one. Yeah. I don't know how my
horrible.
dad is always, when I was a kid, he was like, swear to me, swear you'll never buy cigarettes. So this, psychological workaround I've done is where I'm like, I don't buy cigarette packs. I buy them for, blowjobs or money at bars. And somehow, though, I know my mom just quit cold turkey, and I've never heard her once. She was she used to ride a Harley. She used to have a little biker bar. She was smoking cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught her once after she told me she quit outside, and I think I really instilled some wisdom in her. I went, not good. And she just quit, and I've never once heard her talk about like, God, I want a fucking cigarette. I bet she thinks it a lot more than she says.
Wow.
But also her dad was in like, probably more from his situations growing up, but he was in like some sort of bad, maybe a class below an iron lung. So I could see her having some bigger reasons to not want to smoke.
I
was
had
my
some
mother
people
would
in my
still
my
smoke.
family that did that too.
What, like getting some mechanisms
Smoke to
for
borderline.
smoking, or quit cold turkey?
No, that they would wag their finger at you and say, don't smoke, don't ever fucking touch alcohol, don't ever smoke. And then the guy
You
that
never
said
told
that
me
the
about
most,
alcohol.
he ended up working at a shipyard with asbestos for like 25 years and ended up with mesothelioma. So he's
Yeah, I
like,
hope my dad gets lung cancer just so I can
well,
say,
he was so like,
What?
he's like, don't fuck up your lungs, dude. Like, don't start smoking. I've seen way too many people go. And then he would just clock in for shift work, spraying like all these fibers into his fucking lungs.
God, I love that smell.
Yeah, you gotta take care of your lungs, guys.
I don't know what the hell I'm spraying, but boy, does it smell good.
It ain't a cigarette though. Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know
wait.
why I started that. Sorry, go on. Please take me.
We
Please
were
take
talking
this away from me.
Yeah, we were talking about the supernatural and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
you were
please.
thinking of like one of your instances where you had experienced something, but there was something related to that, and it was there was a video where people kept like doing a timestamp on like a certain room you were in, and there was like a crack in a doorway where the door was closed, and you could see just
the
through it.
children's asylum. Yeah.
Yeah, and like someone
an
like
asylum.
walked by. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people were like, "That's a ghost" or whatever. I
No.
was like, "That's just like a homeless person or whatever."
No.
My point is, did you know they were there?
No.
Oh, you did.
When you were
brought
filming?
this up last episode,
Okay,
right?
so I found out about that place because I just saw like a random, like there was some guy who used to take pictures of buildings in Baltimore, and I saw a picture of that place, and I was like, "Where the hell is that?" And I found it, and I went up, and the door was open, so I was like, "I'm just gonna go in and film this place." I did hear like bangs and stuff when I was inside, so I was a little apprehensive, but it was such a cool place. But there was definitely, and we find out later, it was actually a patient who came back to the place.
Very cool.
Who was there when he was a kid,
Homesick.
and then came back as an adult. As you know, he's.
I don't have donkey.
But he I don't know if he's still there or not. Well, wait a minute. I know he's not there because the building is gone. It burned down.
Think he was in it.
It could
I
have
have
been.
no idea. These two, you know what? So after I did that video, like everyone's like, "Where is this place? We want to go." These two kids, like I'm trying to tell everyone, I'm like, you guys don't understand. Like, this is not the county. Like, you got to be really careful coming up here and running around, because you will get fucking robbed or worse. So this woman writes me this long email, and she's like, "You son of a bitch. My son was almost killed at that children's asylum." The guy chased these two kids out of the building with a butcher knife.
Jesus.
And he I guess was pissed off, and this woman's like, "I hold you liable, and I'm talking to an attorney." And I'm just like, I wrote her back and I said, "You're an idiot." I'm like, "Your son's an idiot, you're an idiot,
If you want
and your
change,
son's
put money
friend is a
into,
fucking idiot too." I'm like, I warned everyone not to go there. No one listens. They go anyway because they think, "Oh, it's going to be different for me," and then something happens, and suddenly it's my fault. No. You know, so
It's Reagan's fault for defunding these programs, lady.
yeah. So I just, I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck you and your abortion son." Like, just so annoying. Like, seriously, I
I
tell
wish
everyone,
that meat cleaver did get him.
Yeah.
I wish he got you.
stabbed to
Should have
death.
been there with him. Yeah.
It was just so ridiculous because
Yeah.
she was she harassed me for like 3 days until I just finally said she has nothing of value to say, so I blocked her. But
You know,
she was all over the
Your lawyer
YouTube. This
contact.
fucking guy, and I'm like, oh my god, fuck
Yeah.
your son.
I'm always scared that somebody's gonna do something
Sit in a satellite dish.
no, like someone's gonna fucking have me as like an inspiration for doing something bad.
Some
Like,
stupid shit.
yeah,
No.
and I
You
just
are an inspiration to so many, Sam.
yeah,
do you
well,
even do,
hopefully a
though?
positive one. I don't know, like let's
I'm
say
gonna
some
make a podcast.
one
Oh
of
my
those.
God.
Yeah.
What if one of the
It's their
cretins from the
fault.
Discord does something horrific? Then they're gonna be like, "Whose Discord is it?"
Oh,
Oh,
well,
it's
that
Sam's.
place, yeah.
You know, yeah,
Not
it's like
great. But,
it sucks because
I
it
think you really
technically
do many call to arms, except for the like either your literal ones.
yeah those. I've
Yeah.
removed all those.
But your subtle call to arms, you're not really. I hope
Dog
not
whistling.
sending out. Yeah, I hope
Dog
you're
Yeah,
not
whistling.
my
sending out a lot
dog
of
whistling.
signals to
My
like,
dog whistles are so fucking high
quiet.
pitched they go right
Oh.
over your head. But I'm really
Not
every
even a
episode I'm
dog would hear 'em.
broadcasting.
Is it coordinated?
They're
and
goddamn
shit?
cat whistles.
Subtly.
Yeah, these are
They're so high pitched.
so
Only
insanely
insects
high
can hear
pitched.
these.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're
But
doing
trust
that
me,
shit, you're
every
already crazy.
episode there's some serious subliminal call to arms shit
Super
happening. And if you're
liminal
not picking up,
messaging.
if you're not picking up on it, you're not the target audience.
You're out.
Yeah, you're not capable.
Get lost.
Filtered.
Yeah.
That's something I have to deal with all the time because I always am doing this stupid, insane shit. But now the places I go are so over the top. It's like people are like, I'm like, no one will ever come here. Like, no one's gonna go. Dan, where
Crazy
is that
factory.
building? Like, we have to go. I mean, these are places like I wouldn't even set foot in after I went through once. That's it. Like the place we did.
Wait, do you go strapped?
No. Mm-mm.
No, you don't carry. You don't carry a gun.
What's illegal?
No protection.
Oh, it's really? Isn't there like a lot of shootings
Baltimore.
in Baltimore?
Oh.
Yeah, but everyone
You should go to Indianapolis. You can,
they all have guns illegally. But no, I don't carry a weapon.
what about? Have you ever thought
Not
of
even pepper
carrying
spray?
like or like bear mace or
Or a truncheon?
nunchucks with nails in them or something?
A collapsible baton?
I have this thing called a
Lightsaber.
burna. It's like
Big suit.
this thing called the burna. It's like a air gun that
like a
shoots
flamethrower.
these tear gas
Burn
like
'em all.
balls or whatever.
That's your weapon of choice. That
I mean,
seems
that's
so.
Tear gas
That
balls.
sounds more effective than nunchucks. That sounds
I,
pretty bad.
I guess it seems so
It's like a
situational.
SWAT weapon.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
It's for crowd
If you're
clearing.
going to these buildings, okay, and you have to carry a gun, you probably shouldn't go to the building.
You've already got the respirator on. You probably
I mean, if you
pre-pepper the
can't-
place
if you
a little.
can't reason with somebody, I'm not fucking taking a gun
I
into
didn't
an
say
apartment.
open with that. I didn't say like
Yeah.
No, I'm
start
saying
your
opening.
conversation
You
with a
would,
homeless
Sam.
man.
You'd
with a
be
gun.
so scared. You go,
Oh no, yeah, dude, that whole video. If Dan Bell's YouTube was ran by me, every video would have a gun shaking.
It looks like an FPS.
in the yeah, it looks like a video game.
Yeah.
It'd just be that. I would blind fire corners probably. I would just
Yeah.
a scary
Throw grenades.
hallway. I'll empty the mag down it a little
Yeah.
bit. But
have
yeah,
to-
you're
You got like a
ballsy
drum mag.
walking in there with nothing.
You have to have an ability to talk to people,
Yeah,
and
true.
also to be able to
That's
talk
what's fun.
people down.
It's charisma rolls, Sam. You
Um,
wouldn't
Nope,
get it.
I wouldn't get it.
And I have enough of like a. I mean, I'm a big fucking guy. So when I go to places, most of the time people do not, even on the streets, people don't really fuck with me. But there's always that. There's
come for
always a
you.
thought in the back of the head, but I would not carry a gun to an abandoned place. If you have to carry a gun with you filming videos, you probably should think about doing something else, because eventually you're gonna hurt someone, and you can't shoot somebody legally
I was
when
defending
you're
my house.
trespassing.
My abandoned house.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
trespassing with
Yeah, it's
a
gonna get it.
pistol.
You can't
Yeah.
fucking shoot someone while you're
I
trespassing.
swear he came at me. There's no witnesses. But, that guy attacked me.
That's the link
He's
to the
got
video.
18
saying
bullets
it-
in him.
It's illogical. I mean, I know that there's channels on YouTube and people all the time are like, "Are you strapped?" And I'm like, Let me run
Strap
this.
I mean, that would
dude.
be a felony in almost every state. Trespassing with a firearm is a
felony.
It's a felony. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
federal offense. Yeah.
But in Baltimore, it's even worse because you're not allowed to have a concealed weapon in Baltimore. So
Oh.
you're not allowed to have a concealed weapon here.
I didn't say conceal it. I said walk around with it up in the air.
Rambo with a
Brandish
machine
it.
So the gun laws here are very strict, but I do know there's some channels where people do carry. I've had people go with me that carry, and I just tell them keep it in the holster. I don't want to fucking see it in the video. There was one time we were at this house in a really bad neighborhood. It was a mansion. And we went in, and these two guys came up the steps. And the person who was with me was freaking the fuck out. Like, their hands on their weapon. I said, take your fucking hand off the weapon. I'll deal with this. And the guys were fine. They were just coming in to get high. Like, I was like, where are you going? We're like, we'll go upstairs. I'm like, cool. We've already filmed up there. So there you go. And then, like, I think my friend at that point understood. Like, I'm like, what were you going to do? Like, pull the gun and be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. You don't do that kind of, there's just ways to do things. There's ways not to do things. And you just have to be really, like, mindful when you're, especially, it's not like I'm exploring, like, an old country house in the middle of the woods in fucking Virginia. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm going into places that are really, really bad. So
you ever dress the part?
What
to
do you
fit
mean?
in a little more. I mean, I guess you got a
like,
bunch of cameras and shit, but like, not do it. Like, you ever just like, just wear some like raggier clothes or something? You're like, I'm in here getting high too, fellas.
Yeah.
Oh no, I only wear my fucking goatee
full suit. Yeah.
No. I just dress. My whole, because I don't like to think about what to wear, so it's all black t-shirts and black pants. That's all I wear. I don't wear anything else.
Should get some of these.
That would look good.
That look cool.
That would finish off the ensemble.
Can you see my eyes at all?
No, they're completely mirrored. Yeah.
Very cool. You can just
It's
imagine
they
you don't know how big they are.
Yeah.
No,
how open my eyes are. I could be asleep right now.
Yeah.
Or how terrified you look.
Yeah. Or how red they are. Yeah.
I don't even know how terrified I look. Stupid.
But
Ryan,
not to make. I don't want to make it sound like I'm like some like fucking tough guy, because I'm not.
Get Jason Statham.
I just say, hey, I'm gonna sit on you and kill you, basically, which is.
You don't go get high upstairs right now. I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of you.
I'm gonna sit on you and kill you. There's just a way, like, I mean, I've been running around Baltimore forever. I don't get scared here. Like, I know there's a lot of people come here and they're like in such shock when I take them on the tour. But I'm not like scared, honestly. If the places I'm scared is in my own neighborhood, to be honest with you, because when you go to like neighborhoods that are, like kind of run down or whatever, nobody ever bothers me in those neighborhoods. Here's where people get mugged and stuff, because it's where, it's a nice neighborhood. So this is where everyone gets mugged here. But if you're over on the west side, nobody. I've never
even walking around with I'm assuming you have like a gimbal and like
equipment.
your camera.
The camera is really bothering me because it is so expensive, and I'm like freaking out every time I take it with me. It does so beautifully. The footage out of it's so amazing in low light, but it's not beat up like my old camera. So my old camera, I'm like, it was just beat up and stuff, but it did beautiful footage. I was okay with it. This new camera is like having a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just always afraid I'm gonna like.
Insure it.
I'd rather get shot than have the camera stolen, to be honest with you. Like, just shoot me and kill me, because if you take the camera, I'm gonna like fucking kill myself. And it's a lot of the reason why I go at night, because I don't want anybody to see me.
Yeah.
So the night thing started back in, I guess, 2015, maybe 2016. I went to a place at night to explore it, and I put it up on YouTube. And every comment, why are you going at night? At night, you can't fucking see anything. This is not a very good Urbex video. You're just trying to get views. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. Like, Sherlock, like, great investigation work. But like, I used to go at night, just so I could not be seen with the equipment. So that was like basically the reason why. But now everyone goes at night.
You should
Every
get
Urbex video is like somebody running around at night.
you should get some sort of top hat with a big hole in it that can put your camera in, strap it to your head, and conceal it.
Abraham Lincoln hat.
Yeah, and then
until
also
you
wear a
meet
tuxedo.
polite crackhead that's like, why don't you take your hat off when you're indoors? Where
I
are your
started-
manners? You're in an old mansion.
Yeah, they'll keep him from getting robbed. A bunch of formal attire. This guy probably has nothing. Strolling the
I
ghetto
don't
in a
have a
fucking
camera.
3-piece suit and a top hat with
And
a
my little
lens sticking
cane.
out the front.
You could have a cane sword. What a cool.
Okay.
I'm just always trying to like minimize the rig, so
Your
it just
footprint.
gets smaller and smaller. But I know I can like drop it to my side or whatever. But it does worry me. It does.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'm insured. I think. Because I
Do
remember
insurance
talking
programs.
to somebody. I need to check and find out. But I remember talking to somebody about if I leave, because my window just got busted in here like just a few days ago. So
Your house or your car?
my car.
Oh, okay.
ooh.
Like in Baltimore, like I won't live on ground floor, first floor places. I'm on the floor here at the Belvedere. So I just
You're very
Don't
much narrowing down, by the way.
You
where
are,
you
yeah.
live.
I
But
live in the
if
famous
you're okay
building.
with that,
I know
yeah.
Floor.
nobody can get hit. Nobody can get up here. You have
We
to,
got some
you have-
very
That's a challenge.
crazy patrons.
That sounds like you're challenging them, and I'm using
Yeah.
my dog whistles right
don't
now
like
to,
that.
to tell the
He
audience.
thinks you can't find him,
He
but
thinks we
He's
can't do it.
unarmed.
Yeah.
He has an expensive
He's
camera.
saying you guys can't do it. He's saying his camera's expensive. He said, "What floor? What building? What city?"
no,
It's up to you guys.
No, it is true, but the camera and everything is in a secure room, so it's always locked up.
He's got a panic room, guys.
Yeah.
Look for that.
What kind
Even
of code
if
you
you
throw
get
on that?
in, you would not be able to get into this room easily. You could do it, but it would take a while.
How tall are you, if I may ask?
Like 6'1".
Nice.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
fucking
Good height.
chair. I just bought this chair. It's already broken, so I'm like sitting down here on the floor.
Listen, we already got editor notes on Brian. Oh, I saw you catch yourself earlier, Brian. I saw you look at
Oh
yourself
yeah, I
in the
was
thing and
slumping
then
down.
sit
I'm
up.
already
Yeah,
back
you
down.
slowly
I'm already
melts
back
into-
down.
Our editor.
I do it. It's just comfy, man. I
Yeah,
get comfy.
Fair.
Yeah,
Probably
so I
playing some
ordered
goddamn dark and
Can't help
darker
it.
over there, just getting in
Yeah.
your Q zone.
the hydraulic thing is coming. But see, the chair was on sale. It was on sale. It was a clearance from like $400. It was $100 for the floor model. So I bought the floor model.
That's not
And
a
now
good place
it's-
to sit.
Yeah. So I haven't had a new chair.
Wait. You bought the one that every like 1,000 asses have been sitting
Mhm.
on and breaking
Yeah.
in.
Try it and test it.
Yeah.
Tried and tested. That's
That's why
used.
it's
You
so
bought a
low.
used
It's the
chair.
floor model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will fight tooth and nail to get a boxed version. I've had people offer me the floor models of stuff, and I'm like, dude.
I always go for floor model TVs. They just got
And they
more
usually
life.
cheaper.
Yeah.
We've seen more.
I know they work.
Yeah, I know they're gonna turn on. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been here for 1,000 days. My God, give me that. Give me-
It's got
I want
burn-in.
the bulbs out of the
Burn-in
goddamn
something
ceiling.
fierce.
Yeah, I don't want these boxed bulbs. This is bullshit. How am I gonna know they're gonna turn on? I don't like going back to the store once I've been there once.
I gotta pee something fierce. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
cool taking like a 2-minute?
Yeah.
Is this show broadcast live right now?
Fuck
Like,
no,
people-
dude. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Hell no.
right.
Hell no. we edit out everything that's like anytime like somebody says something bad or racist or whatever. We always go on these racist tirades that we end up having to cut out. That's half the damn show. So you know us.
I was just talking about the show, the podcast on my Patreon. There's a big group of people that listen to it and really enjoy it. And I just found like in the last 6 months, every time I post a show, I lose so many patrons because I say something offensive that people don't like. And then, it's like, oh, there's 10 people, there's 20 people, there's 40 people that are gone.
Well, for example, when you were like, no, you shouldn't bring a gun into a place with crackheads, there's going to be somebody that's from, my state probably in the comments that's like, what is this guy, queer? He ain't got no gun? They'll say that or something. I'm sure that's going to be like half the comments.
I don't give a shit.
I know. I'm saying that's like that minor of an opinion just ruins somebody else's day. Like you have no idea how easily triggered people are.
I don't give a shit about those kind of people.
I mean,
the gun crowd, they're the most psychotic, whacked out fucking people. Not all of them, but like a lot of them, they come to my channel and they're just fucking like, all their thinking is based on racism.
You think?
And first of all, I don't know how you watch my videos and jump to race because they have nothing to do with race.
Yeah.
So it just, it's just the scary inner city black people and you better have a gun and you're white. And it's like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. If you don't know what you're talking about, then don't talk. Anyway,
have you ever heard of anybody getting attacked besides the? It is funny the one story of violence that because I assumed you would have been attacked at least multiple times, but the one you tell us has nothing to do with race, and it's just a crazy guy with a fucking like a cleaver in an insane asylum. That's a very. It's a very random instance of violence, even though they didn't get attacked. But
it wouldn't be random if he brought up race, Sam. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just getting back into the conversation. Next time my dog goes ham, I do have to go again. That's when the guy will be here. He'll be here in like 11 minutes. Awesome. Forewarning.
11 minutes. Okay. No, I just, it's like they're in the beginning of doing this. I would always say, please don't go here. I would say, there are people possibly living in here, or there's drugs, or it's in a really bad neighborhood. Please don't go. And people would go. Kids from the county, like they would back the car up full of kids and come into the city, into these really bad neighborhoods to go to these places.
Gotta learn somehow.
Yeah, and it's like, and they would be like, "Oh, it's so terrifying. I don't know what we were thinking. It's such a bad idea." It's like, of course, it was a bad idea. Like, I don't know. I just, it's just not you. You're really playing with fire. You really are.
We go to a cool, creepy place. Tell a bunch of kids not to go there. I mean, it's all they're gonna think about until they check it out.
Like. It doesn't matter how much you scream it from the rooftops.
Making it more
exactly
attractive.
like when me and my friends found those porcelain deer and we smashed them. People are saying, "Don't go back there. Don't go back there."
Well, now I don't even care. I just like if you're dumb enough to go, it's on you. Like I don't give a shit anymore because I just can't. I can't. There's just things I can't like worry about or be.
Responsible for
exactly.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, it's not your fight necessarily. It's just people.
It's
it's free will. Yeah. If only we could control them all. Don't go there.
But I have been having a lot of fun back doing this again because I went through a really bad period of depression. No depression for a couple of years, and I just came out of it this past around January.
The clouds have lifted a little.
Yeah, well, completely now. So nice. I feel like a lot better now. And it was a really, really rough time, and I wasn't doing anything but staying in bed, and there were pizza boxes piled up to the ceiling and cigarette butts everywhere. But now
It does sound nice though, laying in bed and eating pizza all day.
there are times where
cozy shit.
it was like such a comforting feeling knowing that I'm going to jump into bed and eat pizza and watch something on the iPad.
Porn.
Yeah, I couldn't even do that.
Oh God, you were real low.
Yeah, I was like totally
Just watch it, not even jerk off. Just be like, I like the story.
It was just it was grief. I was like, I went through a divorce, and I was just really grieving. So
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
I didn't. Well, it doesn't matter now, but
Well,
that would have been nice to hear 3 years ago.
well, you should have emailed me. So I'm great with, sorry to hear that. That sucks. I could throw out a lot of
The first one
comforting
to
words, a lot of wisdom.
But no, I got through it, and when I started to do laundry again, that's when I knew I was starting to feel better.
Yeah, that's a sure sign.
Laundry.
Your bed, you're not moving the pile to the chair and then back again in the morning. You're actually like, I'm going to do this.
All I did for a year was buy new clothes on Amazon. So I would order my Ralph Lauren black shirts.
They got some good Ralph Lauren's got some good underwear on Amazon, but
And then I would order a dozen at a time. So I had a dozen shirts for, almost 2 weeks. Maybe I would rewear them every once in a while, but then when they were dirty, I would buy more because I didn't want to do
Did you
laundry.
save all that?
it's appropriate grief
Like
wear.
you must have hundreds of shirts at this point.
I had so many shirts that I had to pack up. I probably took about 20 bags to the Goodwill.
Jeez.
Just because it was just so much stuff. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to wash all this. And then when you get that, I hate laundry. It's like one of the things I hate more than anything in the world is doing laundry. I just hired this service. They brought me a bag and fill the bag up, and then they take it and wash and bring it back.
They just take your money and buy a 12-pack of black shirts and throw your old ones away.
Yeah.
Bring you a new one.
But if I had 100 shirts, I mean, I'm never going to do laundry, so I'll just go through the 100 shirts, and then there's 100 shirts to wash.
Your magnum opus during that time could have been, your place is just filled with all this decay and all this rotting pizza and shirts, and so you could have done a video through your own house.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
I would share. I would share stuff on Patreon about it.
We should start doing that.
A lot of
How bad
people.
it's gotten, dear patrons. Not great.
Well, a lot of people identified with
Yeah,
that.
no, that's
and
fair, yeah.
Understood, and so that was a positive part of it. Was that? But now, I came out with this whole video about being bipolar and everything, and but now I'm just living, like normal. I don't have any symptoms. I mean, thank God, but I feel great. I mean, I feel really good. Like I've been just getting out and filming new videos and working and getting my website back together and selling.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Are
that's
in
what's
order.
up.
That's appropriately timed.
It's just been a horrible, wretched nightmare. I'd rather have drank diarrhea than have to go through that bullshit. Like literally,
How long was your?
all three of you could shit into a liquid shit
Got him.
into a fucking bowl. I would have drank it rather than had to go through this fucking period of my life that was absolutely horrible.
How long of a stretch was it?
It was there were moments where it wasn't that bad, but then there were moments where it was really bad. But I would say 2.5 years.
Did you get a haircut during that time?
So I don't remember.
Because I've seen people that like you can tell are going through like a depressive stint where they'll be
My hair
laying
was down
back
to my
so much they'll
shoulders,
get like a dreadlock on the
Oh.
back of their head. You know, they're just like not.
I didn't
Your
have
Padawan
the
braid.
no.
Yeah.
I didn't have the back of the head.
You cool like when you're finally like I'm free,
Headlock.
cut it
Yeah,
off.
you cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shave it off.
I'm
I
on
went to-
medication.
I think I went to the barber, but there's some pictures of me with like hair down to, like, down here because I just didn't cut my hair.
Yeah.
But now I go back. I mean, now I go back to my old salon that I used to go to, which I really love going there, but it's all like really rich women that go there. And I love
I got a
looking at
salon like that. I love it. I mean, they absolutely
Dude,
pamper
so-
me.
They treat you so much better, dude.
Oh my
Head
God.
massage is
Yeah.
almost always. I'm like, it
The
doesn't matter what they look like.
The shampoo process is like out of heaven.
It's sensual in a way, to the point where I'm going, God, I hope I don't get a boner.
My
I'd really be so embarrassing if I got a boner right now. I haven't had someone touch me like this ever, and they're really rubbing it in. And whatever shampoo they use, I mean, I look like $1 million the day of.
I love going there. I go every 3 weeks. Just
Oof,
like
that's-
luxuriate. We
Yeah,
all need to luxuriate.
I
Spend time on ourselves, which
God
is
knows
something
I've
that
got my vices. I spend on some things.
My barber has an air compressor where they just blast you in the face with it to get rid
Blow
of all
your air
hair.
off.
Yeah, they do legit. Yeah,
don't use
and
the
like no, they don't use a brush or nothing.
They
Like,
gotta be careful. They might shoot your
It's
hair
just-
clean off.
Yeah.
no, I had this. It's like a mechanic shop. This place. It's fucking gross.
The opposite
And
of Beatrice.
I got my hair
Beautiful
cut by this
salons.
lady, and she fucking hit me with an air compressor and blasted into my ear, and it fucked up my hearing for like 3 months. And I was like,
3
this,
months?
yeah, I was like, it was like fuzzy. Like, have you ever had like it's like water in your ear and it's
Yeah.
like your
Yeah,
hearing's
yeah.
fuzzy?
You
She
got
fucked
shell
up my
shock.
ear because they don't want to
Where
use a
am
brush.
I?
All right,
my
I need to
God.
start going to a
Saving
salon. I need
Private
to.
Ryan scene.
I need to take care of myself for sure. I need
a
to.
black air
I used
blast.
to go to this Asian not massage.
Okay. I was gonna say Asian massage place.
Was that
You already
was that a
said you've
slip?
been to-
Was that you go to those?
Yeah.
Well, no, the Asian barber he would come and massage you and then do your hair, and then he would do
That
this
sounds
thing on your
awesome.
neck, and it was like, oh my God, it was so nice.
I'll pay top
Um,
dollar.
And it was cheap. It was like $23 for a
It's
haircut.
a
and the
goddamn sport
massage.
clips haircut.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
I still remember I was Great Clips. I was either my dad's neighbor my entire life, just gave me buzz cuts. And then it's like one day I got upgraded to Great Clips. And it's like, okay, you can grow that out a little. And then I remember the first time I went to a Sports Clips from a Great Clips, because, it's like Sports Clips. What is this, some dude paradise or whatever? What's going on here? And they put the goddamn hot towel on my face for a second. And I didn't think I'd ever top that.
Yeah.
And now here I am once again toppling Sports Clips with a place that massages my head.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
awesome. It really is awesome. They
I
take
love
forever. And I even make the joke to them, I look like an American Girl doll when they get me out of there because my hair, they just soften it all out. And they like give me always looks like a little bob on the first day. It takes about, classic haircut stuff. Takes like 4 days for it to really start looking good. But when they send me out, I'm like, this is no insult. I'm putting the hat immediately on when I walk out this door because I look like I look like a doll. I look, it's a compliment in a way. They don't, those dolls,
But it's so not
they're
you.
Yeah, they set like high expectations. Like I'm sure a lot of people want to look like one of those. I'm not really going for that right now.
This apartment that I stay in whenever I go up to New York, it's in Greenwich Village, and
Ooh.
around the corner is this Asian massage place.
Mm.
And my friend,
Here we
like every
go.
time I walk past it, I would look in and be like, it was a grimy looking place. My friend said to me, he's like, Dan, you don't understand. It's fucking amazing. You have to go. He's like, they give you a scalp massage and a back massage. He's like, he's like, you fall asleep. I was like, oh, come on. And he said, no, you have to go. So I went, and the woman came in, and I mean, it was unbelievable. Like, I was like, holy shit. So now every time I go up, I go at least 2 or 3 times while I'm there because it's so, the scalp massage where she just goes on the scalp and
I
does
didn't even know my head went, that far back. They're hidden places. I forgot about the back of my head until they start touching it. You probably would not want me to say this, but my friend that's just about to be here, one day he just called me a couple months ago. I think I was streaming or something. He was just ecstatic. And he's like, I accidentally got a happy ending. I thought I was just going for a regular massage.
Accidentally.
Yeah. No, he's like, genuinely, I've just been tight. And then they offer some sort of super package or something. Like, he's like, I immediately knew the vibe that was going down. And then they blast off, and apparently it was an awesome experience. He's probably been back about 20 times. I mean, I haven't asked him, but he's like, dude, when you're down, like, we can totally go to this place.
It is
a little tandem massage.
Yeah. In other countries, that's like a thing. Like, that's literally like a thing.
We should be adopting more of these things.
I mean, because I used to have a masseuse that would do that to me, and he would come over. He would come over and do it. And it was...
I gotta find one of these people.
I couldn't walk afterwards because...
He just leaves you on the fucking table. You can keep that for a week. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll come get it
afterwards.
You gotta fucking put sheets up around the apartment.
It was like... Yeah, it was really good. Because the first couple times I was like, this is really fucking weird because... He was naked, so like I would be like,
you get the vibe probably right away.
This fucking conversation. I would be on the table, and he would be massaging me, and my hands are next to my side. So then he would lay his dick in my hand, and I'd be like, "What the fuck? What am I supposed to do?"
Yeah. It's called a hint. It's called a subtle hint.
Right. Because then, I mean, I got less naive to what was going on.
But at a point, it's like
the second your masseuse is naked, I think that's when you know.
I was like, this is fantastic. Like, what?
It's just like a massage with a view.
Why did I start doing this a long time ago?
It's interactive. What the hell is going on here?
I had a woman. So my friend bought me this massage package. I love massages. Like, it's just my favorite thing.
Sounds like it, yeah.
I go to this place, and it's like an industrial park, and the woman meets me, and she's really pretty. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, and
disrobes.
She was
step one.
I was laying there, and she starts massaging me. The massage is amazing. I mean, it's just wonderful, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up. She's like, roll over onto your back, and I'm like, okay. And I rolled over, and there was no towel or anything. Like, the towel was gone. And she starts doing this thing where she's like rubbing her fingers like up and down my legs,
she put in your butt,
and all this stuff. And I was like, what is she doing? And I'm like, maybe this is like one of those, but I couldn't get hard. I couldn't get hard. Like, I was just like,
maybe this is one of those crazy massages I've experienced in the past.
I think that's what she was doing, but I was like, why is she doing this? She's so pretty. She could have anyone. But then I was like, she probably charges like $100 for a hand package.
Are you insane? Like, for money.
She was really nice. I mean, I would have went back to her, but I prefer having the
naked man.
The naked man.
Yeah. I gotta start getting some goddamn massages. I'm doing something wrong. I could just stave off Hinge.
I fell into it, but I don't do those like
you don't want to get hooked.
I have now is professional. So there's no like hanky panky or anything. But he's really, really good. And I don't have to I don't have to think, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably more relaxing when there's not this like, will they, won't they?
Yeah, I'm not thinking about like the dick in my hand. I'm just laying there like, okay, this guy is doing a really good fucking job, and you zone out.
If there were to be a dick put in my hand,
but he does the isolation tank too. So I do that, and then I do the massage.
What's it? Is that like
an isolation tank?
One of those zero or like sensory deprivation.
You're like in a tub of water, and it's
that's cool. I've always wanted to try one of those.
That sounds awesome. Wait, is it like completely quiet too? Like, is it full sensory?
Well, yeah, you can wear it has headphones.
Yeah,
so it can like make it totally quiet. I like to listen to like nature noises because then I start seeing like trees and
Ooh.
you literally
Very
hallucinate
cool.
while you're in this thing.
Oh.
I'd listen to porn then.
Yeah, I was about to say like
Yeah.
Eyes Wide Shut orgy type stuff.
It's fucking amazing because the thing is, like, when you first do it, you're terrified of these visions because they are scary.
Mhm.
To think that what your mind is.
Are you seeing them like in your like? Are you with your eyes open, or are you going closed eyes just here and there?
Well, it doesn't matter because there's
I
no
guess it's
light
fully
at
dark.
all.
Yeah, it's true.
So
I gotta get one of those.
if your eyes are closed, you know, like if you lay in bed at night and you close your eyes, you start to see stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You'll see stuff moving
Splotches.
around or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is weird because it's almost like you see shapes like trees or you know, a city or something. If you can just allow yourself not to get freaked out by it, it takes a while. But if you can allow yourself not to get freaked out by it, it becomes like it's almost like acid without the acid. I don't know if you guys have ever
if you
done
took
acid before.
psychedelics, and then went
think-
in that,
yeah.
I'd probably
Oh my
die, but it'd be
No,
probably really
I
cool.
couldn't- there's no way I could do that. Like I haven't taken. I used to love taking acid. Like it was my favorite fucking thing to do in the whole world. Acid and mushrooms,
And cigarettes.
and we would smoke cigarettes while we had the acid and mushrooms. But that was so much fun. But this is totally like different. I have a friend who is 75 years old, and he was like a big like druggie back in the day. So him and his friend just tripped. Like they haven't tripped since probably, I think they said the 1970s.
This stuff's different. Yeah.
And they tripped, and I was like, and they're like, oh, we bought it from the same guy we used to buy it from back then.
He's still a dealer?
He's like a robotic
Yeah,
man. He's got like
Unbelievable.
fucking robot arm. And
What an
stuff.
insane
He's a
dealer
cyborg
career.
dealer.
I've had 4 decades in this
It's
industry.
my passion. It's my
But like
passion.
the ISO tank, like is totally like it's a trip, but you're not high.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But it is
It's like a runner's
when you
high.
get in there and the door and the lid closes, you're like, it's like you're basically in a coffin full of water. So it can be a little bit
I
freaky.
pretend I was in the womb.
Yeah.
Start seeing visions.
That's a
of the-
lot of people have that same experience
Oh,
where they
cool,
feel
very
like they're in the
cool.
womb because you're floating. You're just like your body is just floating.
Huh.
And
I'd want to get an attachment that goes from my
Wait,
belly
so
button
when-
to outside.
When you get back out, does he cycle out the water, or is there like a?
no, they cycle it out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, the water's
Yeah, so
I'd
removed,
be doing
and
a lot there.
sanitized, and they fill it back up for the next person.
gotcha.
Yeah.
You guys, you do so much like self care, dude. I just have my staircase in my house. I just lay my back on it, and it cracks it.
I mean,
You're
it's
gonna start treating
I'm like
yourself.
the size
man.
of John fucking Candy. The next thing I'm going to be doing is eating, getting back in shape, which is what I really want to do. But in the meantime, I mean, we've been trying like new age stuff. I did go to yoga, which I walked out of the class because I got mad at the instructor. It was a little embarrassing. It wasn't embarrassing. I'm a business person, so I'm on my phone constantly. And we got there to this crummy room at this fucking community center where I told my friend, I said, can we get somewhere like bougie? Like, this is horrible. So we sat down, and then the guy who taught the class was like one of these like hippie, like long hair tied in the back, and
A hippie yoga instructor?
look.
Unheard of.
Fuck.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
So we had 10
Smoking
minutes.
reefer.
The guy comes over to me, and he lowers himself down and does that thing with how they sit, with the legs crossed and all that stuff on the floor. You know what I'm talking about?
Crisscross
And
applesauce?
then when they
Yeah.
stand
Yeah.
up, it's cool
Indian
if they don't
stance,
have to
whatever
like.
it's
Right.
Oh, okay.
So he lowers himself down, and he's like, hi, what's your name? And I'm like, Dan. I'm on a call, right? But I'm talking I'm not like screaming. And he's like, he's like, listen, Dan, I like when they come to my class, to really use this time to think about themselves and where they are and what stresses are within their being. I said, sir, I know you teach yoga. I said, I'm a little busy. I was like, I need to take care of something.
Dude, fuck off. Okay, I'm trying
really?
to.
I was like,
I'm making
there
a
are
deal
40
right
people
now.
here on their phone. Why are you sitting in front of me? Why don't you tell everyone else to fucking go deep in their being before we start contorting and
You gotta take that personally. You gotta retort.
so
Also,
I told him I was like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. And I told my friend, she was like, are you leaving? I said, yeah, I'm not. This sucks. She's like, oh, good. I don't feel like doing it anyway. So she left. So.
okay, that's kind of.
We're trying to be
Is
good
his
that day.
webcam frozen for anyone else?
It froze for me.
Yeah, mine's frozen too.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine. They can still hear you. I mean, just looks like you're
is
talking
a
very
podcast.
intently, unblinking.
Yeah.
I took yoga for a couple of years in high school just to get out of weightlifting, and it was. I'm not flexible. I never have been. I probably never will be. I mean, I didn't take the class very seriously, but my teacher was also about 9 months pregnant for the second year, and the third year was she was too pregnant or had a child or something. She got replaced with a woman that was about 70. And neither of them could really do much yoga. So it's like, what the hell am I going to learn here? So we had a pretty good, I almost said scam. It's not really a scam. We just go, hey, today, can we go actually practice tennis outside or can we play soccer? She's like, I don't give a shit, dude. Like, I don't know shit about yoga. Cool.
Yeah, I
Or I'd
mean,
be like, can I go to the weight room? And then I'd scam the weight room teacher and be like, I'm here from yoga. I don't know how to weight lift. And then I got caught eventually pretty bad.
I don't think I'll ever do yoga again. I did it a couple of
great.
times, and then we went to my ex and I went to one. He used to go to the hot yoga place.
What is that? Just literally temperature up?
It was
You sweat your ass
there were
off.
puddles of sweat on the floor
Gross.
and shit. And I laid my
And
towel
part
down.
of yoga is like when you do certain positions, like
Looking
sometimes you
hot.
fart, and it's just a natural
Yeah.
thing
Dude,
from
I never
compression.
did that.
Being
Don't put
And
inside
that
like
on
doing
me.
that in like
Volcano
100-degree
or
room
something.
with a bunch of other people.
Got
Like
a
you're in Yellowstone or
respirator.
whatever.
Fuck that.
Got my goddamn tear gas and respirator going into hot yoga. I don't
I
know.
just remember laying my towel down, and then this like it was like laying it on top of like a puddle of water. It just started to like you could see it soaking up
Ugh.
the sweat because it was really dark in there. I couldn't see, and the floor people were tiptoeing around. It stinks. And
Get
like
staph infection or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
I was like, I don't want to do this. I said, I
seems
gotta
like a
get
cesspool
it
of
was
bacteria.
So hot in there. I think it was like over 100. It was like 100 degrees, maybe.
It's like 103 in Indiana right now. It's fucking crazy. Heat wave out the ass. And I tried working out in my garage yesterday. I was doing some hot yoga. Really, I just felt bad for my roommate afterwards because there was just puddles everywhere I stepped. And I'm like, I mean, I sprayed it down, but it's like it's just absorbing in the mats before I can wipe it. So.
Oh, you're actually sweating into a mat.
Yeah, well, yeah, I
Aren't
guess.
they
Yeah.
machine washable? Can't you put them in the
Oh
washer?
God, they're so interlinked and there's so much equipment on them. I'm not gonna do
Oh,
that.
you mean
I
the
if
puzzle
my-
piece
The
ones?
ice, the
Yeah,
ice
it's the
thing.
puzzle
Yeah,
piece
yeah.
ones.
You still the stink bomb in there.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
roommate
yeah.
built it. He can wash them if he wants. I was just,
God.
I was biking and then I went outside. I'm like, oh, this is, it's like hot. I even thought, I'm like, I think this is what hot yoga is like. They just turn up the temp. And then I was outside, like, I did like 2 curls and I started to see black spots and get lightheaded. I'm like, I really need to
Like
go
an
back
heat stroke.
inside. Yeah, I'm like, I don't feel too good. And then I was doing like these. I'm like, I'm going to drop this on my head and kill myself if I don't go inside right now. So I got a little early. I deserve that. That's how I treat myself.
Yeah.
I worked out for 8 minutes and then passed out. And I woke up an hour and a half later in my lawn. Kid had robbed me. I was like, where the fuck is
See,
that?
there's this boxing place that's right across the street from me, and it's like these 2 black dudes, and they're like built like brick shit houses. And I'm like, if I walked in there and said, get me in shape, like it would take like 3 months. but I'm so afraid that they're gonna like kill me. Like literally, like I'm gonna drop dead while they're like, go, 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 keep going, keep going.
Scream at you.
Yeah.
I see the way they talk to their, their clients come in, and they were doing that thing where they push that big tire across the parking lot.
Classic.
I'm like,
get
shit,
those.
I would fucking drop dead.
Yeah, well, I think, it's like when I was a kid and I was scared of taking karate because, I'm like, my dad wanted me to take it for some reason, some little boy reason. And I was in my head about, do I have to I don't think I can break a wooden plank. That's something you build up to. I didn't realize that. I'm sure you don't start with the tire, it's all mental. I'm like, I know I can't punch through a wooden plank right now. Why am I going to sign up and get humiliated? Turns out, yeah, that's not a day one type deal. You're gonna get to that tire if you go there, though.
I should really. I pass it every day, and I look in, and
You
I'm
need
like,
to go next time you see it. Say
stop
today.
Go in.
I don't
and
know.
say hi.
If they're putting me outside with shit like that, I think like they should be paying me. There's a gym that's in town, and they have like this little strip of grass that's in between the building
brick
and like the main road, and they just have like people pay money to get told to go outside and hit a tire with a sledgehammer with the fucking
workout.
with hundreds of people watching them like in traffic. I'm like, dude, like you couldn't pay me enough to go outside and just swing a sledgehammer at a tire in front of that many people
with the little claw.
Yeah.
Like that's prisoner detail,
Yeah,
dude. I need to be doing something cooler.
Dumber than prisoner detail because you actually accomplish something if you're picking up trash.
You can't break the tire.
No, hitting a tire with a sledgehammer, you just
Too
look like
rubbery.
a caveman.
It just bounces right back.
It just
Over
look
the
like
top.
idiots. Like I'm not gonna pay for that.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm having a gym dilemma because when I quit smoking, I rejoined this like boozy gym that we used to go to, and I thought I was so desperate to feel better. So like I was in the midst of really bad depression and quit smoking.
Sorry. Keep going. That means the guy's
smoking,
here.
and I said to myself, I'm like, okay, go to the gym, you'll feel better. So I started going to the gym. I went maybe like a handful of times, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, this is not the right time. I just had no energy. I had no energy. So anyway, I didn't realize that like the people who own the gym back when we used to go didn't own the gym anymore. They sold it to some like scam company. So I just got a thing in the mail that says I owe them $500. And there's nothing more like in my head. I'm like, can you imagine like a fat person calling the gym? Like, I'm not giving you $500. Like I was supposed to call. It would be like a video. Like I can't watch videos of fat people eating.
Yeah.
It just bothers me. I can't. I'm just like, the mukbang.
Yeah,
whatever
mukbangs and stuff.
Yeah, I can't watch that. I find it so repulsive.
Have you seen that video of it's maybe Brian, have you seen it? It's a fat lady and she orders, it's like DoorDash, and she opens up the bag and she's like, this is a full veggie sandwich, and then she opens it up and it's like a bacon melt, and she's like, oh, this is the wrong order. Oh no. I hope my fruit cup's in here, and then she reaches in the bag, and it's 2 bags of chips instead of a fruit cup. She's like, they fucked up my order, and then she's like, I'm gonna eat it anyways, though. And she's like, it's all right, it's pretty good. It's like, bitch, you know damn well you ordered that shit. You ordered 2 bags of chips and a bacon melt.
I know that's that Amberlynn Reed. The only reason I know her name is because the video came up. It was like a short. Mm-hmm. And then they had they show a picture of a dog.
Yeah, the dog. Yeah,
I've seen that. Yeah.
And I love that picture.
Yeah,
of the dog.
side-eyeing dots.
Yeah. So I would watch that video obsessively just to see that dog, and I put him as my screensaver. and then I looked her up, and like she's been going on about losing weight for like 10 years, and she just keeps gaining weight.
Yeah.
But like that's something that's my problem too, because I get on YouTube and I'm like, God, I really want to lose weight, like blah blah blah, and I really have to like think about what I say now. I just have to like not talk about it because Then people come back in 3 months. They're like, "Oh, why are you still fat? You haven't, I thought you said you were going to do this, or I thought you said you were going to do that."
I'm just a man, all right? I'm just a man with weak will, all right?
It is so annoying. Like, people are so
Yeah, that's why I don't tell people I'm doing shit ever. If people ask me,
Yeah,
I'm like,
just do it,
my
right?
life's
Yeah.
uneventful. I ain't got nothing going on, and I don't have any aspirations either.
How many listeners do you have on this podcast?
4,000.
That's pretty good, though.
I have no idea how many it is. I don't know. It's I think like each episode gets like between like 100,000 listens usually or something on YouTube.
It's hard to measure, right? Because it's on different
I don't
platforms.
know.
Too.
Yeah, I could figure it out. Yeah, I could
see.
figure it out if I wanted
So
to.
you guys that are you're pretty popular then
It's too bright.
with the podcast.
Yeah.
Is it all pay or does it come out for free at some point?
No, it's free.
Oh, because
Yeah.
all mine are pay.
I'm sorry. There's one a month.
Wait, is this
That's-
over?
No,
Okay.
there's
sorry.
one a
It
month
just said
that's
upload.
that's like a patron exclusive.
I see.
Yeah.
You are not the patron exclusive. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. This is going out to the public, all right?
No, I
Or
don't
I
care.
see.
My friend just got here, and I gave him a beer. I'm like, yeah, I mean, stay up. I'll be up
Yeah.
after the podcast. And he's like, well, you can probably hear me. There's a hole through my room into the guest room. He just drove from Texas on 2 hours of sleep. The most incredible driving stamina in a man I've ever met.
I was about to say,
in my life.
wait. How what's the drive?
Probably
What's that?
13, 14 hours.
Jesus Christ.
I guess it
Yeah.
would depend where you are in Texas for this.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And last time we were in Florida, he just drove there. Just drive. Can't believe
I do that too. I love
I can drive fucking 3 hours without passing out.
Yeah.
You know?
I get
Oh,
behind
yeah.
the wheel, and once there's no turns, my eyes start glazing over.
I know. Yeah.
And yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
all,
you,
a
just,
lot
you
of
start like
Indiana
going in
up here. I'm just
autopilot. It's just
like, pass out.
I went on this cross country trip like 6 or 7 years ago, and I was on the road for 4 months, just staying in like. I went to Denver, and I stayed in Denver for like 6 weeks because I loved Denver. Like as soon as I got there and went out, I was like, I fucking love this place. I don't want to leave. So I just stayed there. I made all these friends, and everyone's like, Dan, just stay. Don't leave. Just get your own place here and stay here. And I don't know. I should have done it maybe.
Colorado's pretty
I
nice.
fucking loved it out there.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's
Very,
cool. Sam-
very cool.
Sam went there once, and now every fucking time he's like, I should move there.
Yeah.
I need to move there. Abby, we need to
Yeah.
Classic Colorado
Yeah,
experience.
I had
It is.
so
No,
much
I've been
fun.
there 3 times.
Oh, yeah, three
Yeah,
ball,
but
yeah.
like different areas, and and I
Third time
fucking
was
loved
the
it
charm.
every time.
Obsessed.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
I went with these 2 guys I met. We went out to this place called
South Park.
it's on 70. Like you go on 70 West, and then it's like this spring place
Get
with a
little
steam
south.
cave.
Wait, Glenwood Springs?
Glenwood. That was
I've
it.
been there. I was there last time I was in
Holy
Colorado.
shit.
Speaking of
Yeah.
haunted, the hotel there is apparently famously haunted.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
We were drinking. We had these beautiful bottles of wine, and it was a blizzard out. We're in that fucking water. That was the. I mean, I was like,
It's
"This
awesome.
is
Those
perfect."
hot springs. Oh my god, it's a beauty. I know that you're in that bowl, which is
Yeah.
weird for me. Like I don't really like being caged in like that.
Yeah,
But every horizon's just mountain. You're just in
That's-
a
that fucking pool is huge.
Yeah.
It's like this
Massive.
huge pool,
Yeah.
and different sections of it are different temperatures. So you can get like really hot, or you can get like medium hot, or whatever.
in the hotel right by it, the old one.
I don't remember. We stayed somewhere.
Dude, I'm looking this place up right now
I
because
sent you pictures of
Your
this
next
place.
yeah, I
trip
got
a week
that Colorado fever, and so now I haven't
Sam,
been to the
I was
Northwest.
just telling you about Glenwood Springs like a week
It's been a whole
ago.
month since I've been
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Stoned out of our minds and drunk. You know, we stayed at a little house
White River National Forest.
that was up in the mountains. We did not stay at the hotel.
Yeah, this place rocks.
Sam, you should go there. I went for my mom loves Christmas shit. Not as much as Halloween, but you know, she loves her Christmas stuff. We went there. They, you know, take the family. It's beautiful snow fucking scenery everywhere. You go in the hot spring at night or during the day. I mean, really anytime. There's all this Doc Holiday shit everywhere. Really cool little town. Hot worker at the bar in the hotel. I flirted with her for like a week straight. Never got to the name stage, you know.
I'll keep my eye out for
Didn't
that.
seem natural. We were wearing masks. You know,
Did you go to
she
that
was doggish.
cave? Did you go to the cave that's there?
I don't think
There's
so.
a cave. You go through a salon, and then you go down these steps into this cave, and there's steam blowing out of behind the end of the cave. It's steam, and it's just blowing, and there's seats everywhere inside of this little cave, and everyone's just seated there getting the steam that's coming straight out of the earth.
You know, the top of one of the hills is kind of like a miniature amusement park.
Yeah.
There's a cavern up there, I think we went into in the mountain. And I remember they have those things where you ride little carts, like
Yes.
around on a set rail, and you kind of control your speed.
Yeah.
It was so fucking cold, and my mom's like, let's just do it. It's you know, it's just billowing snow. You can't see the town from up there.
Right.
And we did one of those things. I didn't have gloves. I had a fucking like little jacket on,
Sounds horrific.
and it was one of the worst. Yeah, I know. The whole time I'm like, I need to brake, but it's so the thing's like metal. And I'm like, gah, 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 gah. And you know, by the end of it, you're getting pelted with snow the entire.
How are those
flying.
legal? That seems
You're
like
just
something
getting
that you get
blasted. I know.
injured on
And
easy.
It was fun though. It was ultimately fun, but I mean, afterwards I'm like, I can't stay here. I'm completely soaking wet. Like I gotta go in that cave or something. I gotta get in the spring.
I had
Cool
so
town,
much fun in Denver.
Denver's-
it's
Did you take the
weird.
train to Glenwood Springs or
No, we drove.
no? Oh, you drove to Glenwood. Okay.
Yeah, we drove.
Because we went to Denver and then took the train to Glenwood. With beautiful train ride. You're just going
I
around.
can't even imagine how
Not
gorgeous
you're like
that was.
following a river the whole time. Saw a couple
Yeah.
eagles, nothing big. Saw some coyotes in a field. We got those in Indiana, but it's cooler. It's like
Yeah,
maybe
it's just
it's a wolf.
everything out there. Like I went out like I was in Los Angeles. And I was hanging out with my friends there, and I did a lot of like partying because I was still. Wait a minute, how old was I? Maybe like 38 or something.
You're still a young kid.
Yeah, so I hadn't been out in a while, and like I went out there and we were partying, and then they're like, "Where are you going next?" And I was like, "I don't know." I went to Yellowstone,
Oh, beautiful.
and that was amazing. And then
Did it live up to the hype,
well,
in your opinion?
the thing is, it's like the tourists there are
Should have gone during COVID.
I'm not going to use the R word. They are fucking irritating and annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mentally deficient.
I've just never seen such stupid people. Like an elk is sitting there, and people are walking
I'm
up
gonna
to
go
it.
touch it,
I'm not
yeah.
getting near the elk.
Yeah.
Like I can see it. I don't need to go up and pet it. It's a wild animal. The buffalo, they're just scary, man. They're huge,
Massive, yeah,
and
absolutely.
people
massive.
are just
Yeah.
walking right up to them doing selfies.
It's
and
weird, yeah, how people are. I don't
They're
know
like
what they
extra
are
furry
thinking. Like
bulls, man.
it's like, oh, it's so close. It must be nice, or you know, I've seen them on TV or something. I don't know.
And then
I don't
they
know why
act
you'd get that
surprised and
close.
adored. You know, they're like, "Oh God, I don't know what happened. I know what happened. All we got to do is look at your fucking Instagram."
I'll get too
But
close.
the people there are so stupid. But
There was those like siblings that went to go swimming in the
In a geyser.
yeah, it was like a geyser
the first thing
pool.
to tell you not to.
And-
do.
and-
Really? I was thinking the dumbest thing. I
No,
could
no,
think
no,
of,
not
just
down
swimming.
in like in the geyser
Oh.
thing, but those
Hey,
those
wait, I'm gonna
like
go way
weird
down there.
those weird like geyser
Blast me up.
pools that they have around those, the geothermic
yeah.
pools. They have
That's what's
some of them
cool.
have insane pH levels where they're like super acidic.
it's
And
acid.
yeah, it's just acid. And this kid went to go swim and he just instantly got
Oh,
like
now Sam's
Yeah.
gone.
eaten up.
Sam, you
Am
gotta
I gone?
repeat. You gotta repeat. You're going like 10 pixel.
Uh,
You're
You're
back
good
a
now.
little.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, go back to what you're saying. There's a kid. There's
You're good.
siblings in a geyser.
Yeah, they
Pool.
went to go jump in a pool and apparently it was just acid. And like they
Well, no, what happened was they were on I forget what stop that is, but it's this beautiful pool, and then behind it there's like a pine forest and there's pools everywhere, but you don't have access to that. You got to stay on the boardwalks. So this dumb brother and sister, they're like, let's go stick our feet in the water. And they start running into the woods, and then all of a sudden he just falls through the ground in front of her. Because the ground is crust. It's a ancient crust that's formed by the acid and sulfur and everything else, minerals in this water. So she runs and finds a park ranger, and then they go back and there's nothing. I mean, he was completely disintegrated. And then his family, they're like, we want a memorial here. And the park's like, no, you don't get a fucking memorial.
Get like the opposite of a memorial,
they have
like a hazard.
signs everywhere, like saying, don't go off the boardwalk. And what did these people do? There was that YouTube channel. Remember that YouTube channel where one of the guys died or something? He fell off a waterfall.
When did it do that? Are you talking about the guy with the rope swing?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was a group of the douchiest people alive. They went to the Yellowstone and went to the Grand Teton Spring, jumped off the boardwalk and had to go film, themselves on the crest of the spring.
Mm-hmm.
And they survived that. But then what the hell is like your best life or
High on Life?
High
I
on
actually
Life.
Googled it. I Googled it, yeah.
Yeah, High on Life. Yeah. Right. And then they were doing another stunt, and one of the guys slipped and fell into it. I know I was laughing. It's terrible to laugh, but
we like to laugh here. I mean,
when I heard that, I was like, I bet he's high on life now.
Yeah.
I mean, it just and they're there and they're like, they make a video where they're all crying and upset. I'm like, what do you expect? Like, the things you do are so stupid.
Come with an inherent risk,
Yeah.
That Point Break.
I think there
you
was...
don't get that Point Break lifestyle without the risk, It's
there was those guys that free climb the skyscrapers. I think.
Oh wait, I was gonna say Alex Arnold or whatever. I watched his free solo thing. Badass, but he knows the risks.
He knows the risks.
But he free soloed that big ass mountain face. And very intense, very intense. And it's like no cables, no nothing. They're just putting their hands in little rocks and making fists and powdering fists and just some incredible feats of strength.
Go into a panic. Like I can't even. I cannot even imagine.
They have like shit where they put their knee in it and then go upside down to get blood back in their hands and stuff. I'm like
crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it's amazing. It's it's a real feat. But at the same time, it's utterly pointless and stupid. But it does get
different strokes.
TikTok and YouTube, man, you'll get views if you do something stupid like that.
Crazy enough,
I could get views if I climbed something. I'm starting to get some ideas. I'm hearing that dog whistle now coming to my ears.
Do you remember that trend of like how many milk crates can I walk up before I get brain damage?
Oh my God.
And there was
Yes.
like the point of it was to fall and hit your head on the fucking concrete.
There was like 2 people that made it over successfully.
I think one woman actually ended up paralyzed.
Awesome way to get
falling
paralyzed.
on a bunch of milk crates. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Color me surprised.
Watch those.
Stolen valor. Only milkmen should get that kind of paralysis.
I would be afraid to do the milk crate challenge like in a grassy field because like even if you're not falling on concrete, you're still falling on a pile of milk crates.
Some of them are just doing it in like parking lots.
Yeah, a lot of people are like,
It's
"Yo, let's just do it right here in this Walmart parking lot." Dude, no helmet or nothing.
It's just roots and dirt everywhere, mud, hard mud. I mean, crust, not yours.
I used to like back in the day, like we would ride on the roof of a car.
You gotta have some excitement, or you're gonna go crazy.
Of times. Well, my friend, she was driving up the highway with me on the roof of the car.
Okay, that's equally dumb as doing the milk crate challenge. I'm sorry.
So stupid. Like, how dumb is that? I remember banging on the roof because I felt like I was slipping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I really don't
All
want
that banging. You should have been holding on.
I've
I
lost my grip. I lost my grip.
was just like, how the fuck long is she gonna drive for? It just seemed like
Okay,
it was
the
going
joke's
on forever and
over.
ever.
Have you ever
that's
like
what-
skitched a ride on a skateboard on a car, and then there's that 1 second where you're like, I held on too long. I am going way too fast on a skateboard.
That's
This is
normally like when someone
horrifying.
gets hurt in one of those things. It's whoever's in control, just kind of going too long. Like,
Yeah.
get the idea. You got the idea. Now kill it. You know, don't push your luck.
Right.
I'd go in one exit on the freeway. You know, you'd be up there. Woo! I go right off the next exit. You know, probably going 30 miles an hour. This person just blasts.
If you miss the exit.
Whoa! I also drive very dangerously, so yeah, there's a good chance I die before you. Look out for that water in the middle. This is gonna be great content. I see one of those trailers with a ramp on the back. I mean, it's just gonna be a story. If you're on the roof,
There was
and I
a-
hit one of those.
There was another YouTuber that did he had like a big fucking rope swing that they tested out the rigging and everything, and they were like, yeah, it works. And then he was like, wait, one more, guys. And someone voiced concerns of like, ropes have a tensile strength that is reduced every time they're brought to load.
Right, yeah,
Like
yeah.
we need to redo the rigging on this. And he was like, let's do it again. And he did one more, and the fucking rope snapped. But here's the shitty part: you can be like a daredevil all you want, like that guy that you were talking about that does
One time.
the free climbing. I forget what his name is.
Alex Harnold. I
Yeah,
believe, or
Harnold.
something
Yeah,
like that,
like he doesn't have kids. He knows better. He's like, I'm gonna
He had,
die
like,
doing this.
A big
you know?
part of the thing was like he had, I think, a girlfriend that was like, I think his whole family just realizes this is his hyper fixation, and
Yeah,
there's no stopping him. Everyone's like, well, you know, it's what he truly loves. So,
yeah.
well, you know, it's like being a spouse of a soldier.
It's kind of like the really like
get to bang him.
the cool stuntmen back from the 1970s. You know, like Dar Robinson and
Brad Pitt in that movie.
Yeah.
oh yeah, well, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
He was
that's
kinda
the
like
movie.
he was kind of being like
I
a
love
Dar
that movie.
Robinson.
I got it.
Who's the other dude?
Evil Knievel. Hot
No,
Rod.
the one who
Rod
did
from Hot Rod.
the one who always did Burt Reynolds. I think that was Dar Robinson.
Oh.
But when Burt Reynolds was doing like those crappy 80s movies where he's like a police detective.
But you are completely like a generation ahead of us. Like
You're a generation ahead of me.
Yeah, I know, but
I know what he saw. I've seen SNL.
I never
I know
watched-
Burt
I never
Reynolds.
saw
is.
that shit until like
Yeah.
a few years ago.
oh, okay.
It was when Burt died as I started looking into it, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
when Norm Macdonald died, I started seeing his impressions of Burt Reynolds, and it really opened my
it's
eyes.
fucking
to-
hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, Norm Macdonald was a genius.
You
He
and
was
Sam
so
could talk
funny.
about this for hours.
Yeah, I do love
Yeah.
Norm.
Starting now.
I do love
Oh,
Norm.
and Paul Rubens, man, like losing Paul Rubens is just. I was just so upset that day. I just can't believe it. I don't know what you guys think of Pee Wee Herman, but growing up for me,
I can do a little
Growing up
dance. I can do a little great impression.
he
Oh,
was.
Sam's got a doll. I've got a picture of him upstairs as a werewolf. Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
yeah, the Pee Wee Herman doll. Does it still work?
No, he doesn't work. This is what we think of Pee Wee Herman.
It sounds like a lot of people in that house.
we get.
That'd be a Norm joke. That'd be really funny. You'd love that. Yeah.
Yeah, we huge fans of him here. Actually,
Did someone
Yeah.
send you that, or did you buy that?
no, actually, Abby's
what?
grandma had it, and she was like, "This thing freaks me out. I don't know what it is." And I'm like, "That's Pee Wee Herman." She's like, "This horrifies
Yeah,
me.
what do you-
This horrifies me. I want it gone." I think it was like a gift. Someone gave it to her like a long time ago, and it's been one of those things where it's like when they come into town, I guess I have to get out my
Yeah.
Pee Wee Herman and put it out. But
You
she's
still
like,
have him, right? My prized Peewee doll.
I gave it to my
He
son-in-law.
still works, right? No.
Oh wait, he does have a little.
There's a snake in my boot.
No, he doesn't. It doesn't like pull back his little voice box.
Do you even fix it, like restore it? or
No,
not?
he's not Woody. All right,
Impossible.
it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's a cool guy, but he lost my respect once he jacked off in that theater. What the
That
fuck
is
was
when
he
I
thinking?
ultimately was like,
He's-
he's just a dude, man.
Yeah.
He's just a guy
Stupid as
going through
fucking
life.
shit I have ever. I mean, even
What
when
else
that
was he supposed to do in
I'm
there?
like, who
It's
the fuck
the
doesn't
fourth
jerk off?
year.
Everyone jerks off.
The media really went after him for that one.
Yeah.
It's like, what? No one's their character they play,
We used to go-
really.
we used
Come
In
on.
Baltimore, there was an adult theater here called the Apex, and my friends and I always went
Climax.
because it was so it was the most disgraceful. I don't know if you guys ever saw
Porn.
Cecil B. Demented, the John Waters movie. That they film a scene in the Apex.
I'm not a huge John Waters connoisseur, but I have not seen that movie. I'll add it to
Well,
the list. Is it good?
uh,
Eh, okay.
Take it off the list.
It's off the list again. Yeah.
but we used to go there to see movies. I remember one time we went on Christmas morning because we wanted to say how depressing would it be to
Yeah.
go to a porn theater on Christmas morning.
More importantly, like how depressing is that porn theater owner's life where you like wake up, don't have a family. I gotta go open up my business.
Open the theater.
Yeah, I gotta go open the theater.
We went in and it was always it took 10 minutes for you to get adjusted to how dark it was.
Mhm.
And you'd sit down, and Christmas morning, I swear to God, there were about 3 Santa Clauses, mall Santas, in the theater. They had just gotten off.
Well, they got to get it out before they
They
go
were
work.
drunk,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But this guy came in. He was in a wheelchair, and
Help me.
he probably weighed like 500 pounds, and he had a flashlight.
Oh.
And he's going down the aisle, and my friend goes, "Oh, he must be an usher." And he got down to the front and started doing his business. I said, "He ain't no usher."
Find
Dude,
the
that's
best
awesome. He just
Yeah.
rolls in with his flashlight,
Follow
goes
the
all the
thumb.
way up to the front. I brought my own chair.
Yeah.
He finished, turned that wheelchair right around, and you could. It was going.
15 seconds later, he turned around.
Go up.
Yeah, I'd walk in there.
Wait, it was
Get
an
up
electric wheelchair? Like,
Yeah, it was-
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you think you can wheel 500 pounds up a ramp?
I don't know, dude. That makes
place
it a
was-
whole lot better since he's just relaxed the whole time.
I'll never forget.
I'm
We
sure
saw
he's
this
very
movie.
relaxed being a paralyzed man. Or
Wait, do
too
they
fat.
sell concessions at a porno theater? Do they sell popcorn and shit?
I don't remember. I think they did sell popcorn.
Like Mike and Ike's?
the whole
They
time?
sold candy. I don't really because
I'd be
you could-
laughing and
the
eating
owner
food
was
the whole
always like,
time.
he'd show up with beer and stuff, and he's like, he's like, go on and have fun, you know, with a real thick Baltimore accent. We were watching this movie once. It was called like Pearl
Star
Necklace
Wars.
or something. It was this horrible 80s porn.
Full length porn movie, or how
Yeah,
does
it
this
was a
work?
full length
Yeah.
with a story.
You have to
Um,
wait.
so it's a detective who's looking for this strand of pearls that is hidden up inside this woman's coochie hole, and he has to fuck all these women to find this
So
strand.
people
of
are
pearl.
jerking off
Until he hits-
throughout, or are
until
they
he hits a
waiting until
fucking
the
pearl?
big part? It's like quiet the whole time. Then like,
Yeah.
I guess it's just quiet. Most of the guys are blowing each other. It was mostly gay guys in there, but
okay.
and there would be hookers that would go into.
Learning a lot.
Women were free, so women got in free. So the hookers
Yeah.
were in there.
Oh, you bring a hooker? What a play! You bring a hooker to a movie to watch porn while she blows you? Jesus Christ! I'm getting like some real like ideas.
Yeah.
There's a
And-
scene where the detective goes.
God, Christmas
The
morning.
detective goes to a diner. It's this horrible set that they built. I don't even know what it didn't even
get a
look like a diner. And the woman comes out in this waitress costume. She's got this huge 80s tease blonde hair, blue eyeshadow, and red lipstick. And so anyway, they start getting it on, and she's laying on the floor, and he's titty fucking her, and she screams out, in this horrible. She said, she's like, "Fuck my tits, you asshole." We fucking screamed like laughing. And the people would just move away from us because we were so loud. We would ruin, like, we were total boner killers. And all we're doing is fucking smoke.
Actually, enjoying the film is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only ones
Like
legally.
the
Don't
movie.
kink shame me. I'm enjoying the movie the way I see fit.
I thought I was going to a regular theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna forget, this friend of mine, she had just got in a car, which was like, I'm like, she's gonna be dead in 2 weeks. And we're in the Apex drinking like crazy. Then we came outside. We were with some cute boy. I don't remember who he was. He was hanging out with us, and we got in her car, and she must have sideswiped about 15 vehicles.
Jesus Christ.
And I said, "You've got to pull over." I said, "What are you fucking doing?" She's like, "Oh, fuck it, we'll get home." And I mean, she was just annihilated on alcohol. I don't even know what we were thinking back then. I mean, it was just crazy. Baltimore has always been like a lawless city, you know.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Like,
It seems
you
that way, yeah.
sideswipe, if you sideswipe 15 cars in the county, somebody's calling the cops, you know. But Baltimore City, they don't care. They're just like, whatever.
I don't even know if I want to get into this. I don't know shit about cars, but for like 4 weeks there's been this listing on Facebook Marketplace where of course I got to pay my taxes, so I'm not going to be buying any cars or anything. But there's a Lincoln Continental that's like a 1978. It looks like the most comfortable car I've ever seen in my in the
they're
biggest
nice.
The back seat and the front seat just this plush red leather. Like, it looks
They are really
you can
nice.
fit 10 people in there. And it's listen to this, when I start thinking about a purchase, I'm like, oh my God. I was like watching YouTube videos. I was looking at what does insurance cost? And everyone's like, you're driving a boat. Like, you are just gliding I learned a fun fact, like the second longest hood ever put on a production car.
Wait, what year was this?
1978. It's,
Lincoln Continental? Okay.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
badass.
No,
4-door.
yeah,
It's got
I've-
those little windows, and this one in that listing, a rare sunroof that still works.
Ooh.
And I'm just thinking about how I'm nervous parking my hybrid car at parking lots if they're too full, because I don't like to like squeeze in there. And if I were driving something this wide and long and large and with no fucking backup, monitor, I'd absolutely blast something. But all the reviews are saying you can fucking tear a Nissan in half with this thing. Like, you can absolutely cut through cars and you're not going to feel a goddamn pinch. And I've been thinking about it a lot. But also,
those are great cars.
I know, and it looks cool.
Yeah.
My friend has one of the limousines. Lincoln
To drive around. I know, the whole time I'm thinking it'd be cool to drive people around in this. How am I going to get this many people in his car? But
we had so much fun taking that car up to the Poconos when we went up to the Poconos.
That
That was
Continental,
like-
does it have like a bench seat?
yeah, it
Oh,
does.
dude. They need to bring back bench seats. I miss
Yeah, if I can
my
find the
grandma
exact listing, I'll
had
show
a
you.
station wagon with a bench seat, and I remember like no fucking car seat or anything. I was just like 5 years old.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Come sit next to me," and just slide me on over.
Wait.
And God forbid
Right.
she thought we were gonna crash. She would just like hold me with her hand.
Yeah, that'll.
That's gonna protect him right there. My 88-year-old fucking little
I know.
arm.
I posted it
with the hand too.
Yeah.
in the podcast, boys. Just what it looks like. It's so sexy. It's
How much is
gorgeous.
it?
It's
I have
gone
to
down
log
in
into
price.
Facebook to see it.
Oh, I didn't have to, which is weird.
1,600.
Yeah, it's like $6,800, so I will not be buying it. But
Oh, dude, that's like a. You look
a
like
good deal if
It's
you're
like a
trying to-
kingpin car.
I know
Only got
exactly.
Yeah.
84,000 miles. It's that old, dang.
Oh my
Look at the
God,
back
that
seat. My
interior!
God.
Are
I
you
know the
kidding me?
interior is just incredible. It's
Yeah.
just absolutely phenomenal. But what the fuck? My roommate was like, dude, you should buy it. That way you just park it in front of our house and no one will fuck with us. Like, hey, these guys with a big
Yeah.
car. But I don't know if that's
That
justifying
car like
me
demands respect
not
for some
going to
reason.
TwitchCon. Yeah, if we need to be running more ads on this channel or something, I'll buy a Continental. but it's gonna be gone soon. It's a great deal according to Kelly Blue Books. So
Yeah,
normally run
1600. That's a really good
they
deal.
normally run for about twice that price. So
And those damn things will last forever. 84,000 miles is nothing.
I can cut through a Nissan with it. So I mean, I hit a lot of Nissans. I'd love to actually this time come
I
out on
bought it.
top.
You know, I bought a fucking Dodge Ram pickup truck because I'm an idiot.
It'd blow up.
No, it's doing good.
Okay.
I was going to move to South America, so I sold my car. I had a BMW. I sold it. And then literally the day I was leaving, the airport started shutting down for COVID. And so I said, well, I'm going to wait until there's some more news in a few weeks, and then I'll go. But little did I know that the airport would be closed forever. So I didn't have a vehicle anymore. So I was like, great. And I was renting. I would go to Enterprise. And they gave me the truck once. I rented a car, and they said, we don't have any cars. We only have a pickup. And I was like, I'll drive. You know, I'd never driven a pickup truck before.
Scary.
And I was like driving it, and I'm like, I fucking love this truck. So I went back and asked them if I could buy it.
Should have bought a Continental.
And they said yes, and then I bought it. And then now when you talk about Lincoln Continentals, I'm like, man, that would be
Dude, look at the trunk space in that car. I mean, wait, I can post.
Basically
I
a
can
pickup.
probably post this exact link.
It
in
might
here
be
so you can see.
comparable square footage to like the bed of a truck. To be honest, dude,
Let's
the
just
trunk
post
space
in
on those,
here.
it look like ping pong tables, dude. They're huge.
It's dude, the
Yeah,
back
it's
seat.
crazy.
I watched a big ass dude review one of these on YouTube, and he was in the back seat. He's like, the headspace is incredible. He said it more comfortable than a couch to sit in. Okay, what
Look
kind
at
of couch?
that
I don't care. What?
Look at that interior, man.
I know that it's. I don't.
And
It's
see,
like
the back
sexually
seats-
awoken cars for me because I don't know. I don't care about cars. My mom just got a cool old car, and now I'm like, is that a thing I need to do when I become an adult? Is buy a cool old car? Like, do I need my own? Because I'm not going to get hers. It's definitely going to go to one of my siblings. Maybe I need to start building my own cool old car collection. I
You're
wouldn't.
just convincing yourself to buy it, aren't you?
It's not hard to convince myself to buy something. I obsess. And in a
Oh.
week, I'll be talking about my new car I can't drive.
Yeah.
I'm going to have someone pick it up from the guy's place and drive it to my house.
It's
So I
very
can
much
rest.
like the back seat is very much like a 1970s Rolls Royce. How the back seat in the Rolls Royce, they get, you get all that leg room.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
know all about Rolls Royces.
A little window.
Well, no, the only reason I know is because we were in West Virginia and there was a Rolls Royce parked in a parking lot. It was for sale, and it was. I mean, this thing had seen better days. It was probably from maybe the 80s or something, but we were opening it up and going in, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool to redo this thing and get it back on the road again? But can you imagine how much that would cost? I mean, it would just
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I always
don't
thought it
know
would be
shit,
cool to
man.
have a beater Rolls Royce, like one that's just been ran through hell, so you don't care about it as much.
Yeah.
You know?
I kind of
think that'd
want
be
to
cool.
like something with you can take the top off. So maybe I take this car, I just start sawing on it, get that roof off, turn it into a convertible. Pretty cool, pretty long
That
convertible.
would be a long ride convertible.
Yeah.
Like one of those
People in the
SpongeBob
back are getting
boatmobiles.
fucking blasted, yeah, absolutely destroyed with wind power. Not a lot of give. I saw
There was a movie with that car. It was like a
it's like the
a
Green
Phantom
Hornet
Horror
cars.
movie.
I saw in the review the guy was like, "This is the car they use in." Oh, it was Schitt's Creek. That's not as exciting. Yeah, I think they use it in a couple shows.
I was expecting like, whoa, this is gonna be an
Yeah.
awesome movie.
Yeah, Schitt's Creek. Well, they used to be rich, and they had that car, so that's cool. I don't know if they buy it once they're poor or not, though. It might be that. Ew.
Yeah.
Never mind. I don't want this anymore.
Is this
No,
rich or?
I just have this
poor
vision of
shit?
me driving it around. I got all my homies in the back, and they're so comfortable. But then I realized, like, it's mainly just my roommate and I most of the time, so I'd have to have him sit in the back, and then I'm just driving a guy around. Like, I'm kind of just becoming a chauffeur, and I'm going to be very scared driving that, because It's
huge.
apparently, it's
Yeah.
very large for
You know what's funny is
fix a
parking
car
spots
like that?
used to
Doesn't
be
need fixing.
smaller, so it was like the
Well,
biggest
when it
car.
does.
Yeah.
During the
in the
smallest
video, he
parking
pulled
lot
into a
size.
modern parking lot. It took up the entire thing plus some. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't know what to do with all that.
Yeah.
Like, I just simply wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to handle it. But
And they're not very fuel efficient either.
no, I saw that in the reviews. About 10 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Apparently, I don't. Once again, I don't know a lot about
That's
cars.
worse
but
than my
tank.
my uncle had an F-250. I think it was worse than that.
because of also like fuel emission regulations of the 70s, it's got a bunch of shit in the where the engine itself should be able to produce more horsepower, but it doesn't because of the shit they're putting on it to limit the horsepower or something. I'm once again way out of my wheelhouse
Yeah.
on this. But
You know what's
It was
weird is
cool.
I feel like cars don't backfire anymore. I think
Yeah.
that's a car from an era that could backfire.
that'd be
could
cool.
backfire, yeah.
It'd be
I think
cool. I mean,
I think that's cool.
I hear a lot of
You gotta
backfiring in my neighborhood. Yeah. People backfire at each
Rapid.
other all the time. So it'd be
Family
cool.
car
I'd
meetups,
just be
like 20 backfires in a row.
Yeah, there must be a lot of beaters around there or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is not a beater. This is a king's car.
My friend had a car that backfired once.
Kill a
It
guy.
scared the shit out of me. I don't remember where we were. We were getting ready. I
Abandoned
was
building.
going to go in it.
Driving through.
And he started the engine. He put it in drive, and that thing went. It just like exploded.
Yeah.
And holy shit! I jumped 10 feet in the air. That scared the living shit out of me. A lot of my friends had classic. Well, like one of my friends had the Lincoln Town Car, but it was later than '78. It was
I was
probably
gonna
an
say, I
80.
saw from the reviews there's some discussion between town cars and Continentals, but I'm more of a Continental man because this one marketplace ad that's just been
It's
they
like
cut it
Chevy
in price
versus Dodge or whatever.
$5,000, and I've just been staring at it every couple days.
We used to.
No,
I read the thing, and the guy's trying to
Back
sell it
and
for his
stuff.
college for his
Yeah.
kids.
I'll put them through school, man. You just let me.
Yeah.
You just drive it
I'm
for
helping
me.
'em.
Let me sit in the back. I'll put your kid in college or whatever the hell you want.
That car was fun because my friend had one, and it was the best car to get stoned in.
Love getting
We used to
stoned.
go. There was this road that went through this little patch of woods, and no one ever took that road. And we would,
Speaking of,
my friend who was Playboy. She's not anymore. She was a Playboy model.
tell her I said
And,
hey.
we and we used to go on that little road, and we would park the town car and just turn the lights out, and the police would never see us. Nobody would ever see us. We'd just sit there and get completely wasted. And but the town car, the back seat was fucking huge. I mean, there was like 5 of us back there, and it was
the
like
guy in the comments said that you could fit 10 people in there in a pinch. I
Yeah,
mean, I've never.
it was ridiculous. It was
It's I don't
huge.
even know that many people that live around me, but I see a hitchhiker. You want to sit in
You want to
not
come
in a
in?
weird way, but you want to sit in the back. Not that I don't trust you up here, but it's a smooth
And
ride.
don't sit
apparently.
right behind me. Sit.
Apparently, too, people are like, dude, I hit a goddamn metal sign. I didn't even know I had hit it yet. Like, it didn't even hurt my car. That's some American muscle right there. That's some steel.
Do you guys ever pick up
I'd kill a
Hitchhiker?
kid.
I would
Um,
never in my fucking life pick up a hitchhiker.
No.
I've
it's-
strongly considered it last week because I saw someone. I'm like, it's not a great place to walk through. And then I'm thinking, well, it's not a great place to pick someone up either.
Yeah.
And I'm going to. I'm on the journey to pick up a
She had the
hitchhiker.
Let me tell you
Yeah,
something.
the-
You know what
Because I'd like to
Tallahassee
think if I
just
was out
had?
there going, they'd pick me up.
There was a fucking vagrant only a couple days ago that is an
I'll
axe
never pick
murderer.
someone up.
He was all over the
Never
news.
again.
Like he was.
I've heard enough.
Oh, yeah.
I will never put someone else in my car.
It was just weird that like there was like this guy.
It's like a stereotype. He's
Yeah, he's a
stereotype.
hitchhiking axe murderer. It's insane.
Okay, think of some original
Yeah.
werewolf. Something. Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Out of place too. Out of time.
Hitchhiking
Yeah.
rule.
When I was on that driving the cross country trip, whenever I saw a hitchhiker, I'd pick them up.
Really?
Fun
And
story.
I
I bet.
never had a problem. I never had a problem with one of them. They
You're
were
a
always
talker.
because we just talked the whole time.
You're-
So
you're
if somebody
a
was staying with me
charismatic
like
man.
10 hours, it was great because there was
Well,
somebody to
10
talk
hours,
to.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
I drove. Actually, we got to turn left here. Okay.
Like, hey, where are you headed? I'm headed, and I'd be like, where are you going? And they're like, I'm trying to get to LA. And I'm like, okay, let's go. That was
gotta have a couple beers.
You ever
in
get
me.
somebody in your car and you go, this person's a fucking psycho and I want them out of my car?
No, not one time.
Not
Really?
once.
Everybody was nice and normal, and the one dude was kind of annoying because he started drinking, and I don't know, this guy had a fucking bladder of a 4-year-old girl. I mean, he's like, dude, can you pull over one more time? And I'm like,
That's so me.
we just stopped fucking 8 minutes ago. We're never gonna get anywhere.
I peed 3 times during this podcast. I mean, yeah, I get it.
I am about to burst myself.
We stopped at a diner and he had to use the bathroom, and I laughed. I just took off. I was like, I can't deal with this. It's driving me crazy.
I'll be right here when you come out. Why don't you leave your bag in the car? I'll be right here.
No, I made sure that he definitely took his stuff. So I was like, okay, he has his shit. I'm out of here. So I left.
He's got shelter and food.
But there was like the one guy, like it was a couple. It was a guy and his girlfriend, and they were like, let's go to dinner and we'll buy your dinner. And I was like, how do you guys make money? And then they were like, the craziest thing about these two was the girl came from a ne'er-do-well family. So she was rich, and
buy a car,
hitchhiking
sweetheart.
with her boyfriend across the country.
At that point, you're asking for rides. Just drive. Just do a goddamn journey.
Just Uber it. Dude.
Well, because I was telling her, I was like, well, like, don't you ever get to like an exit and then you're waiting? Like, she said the longest they had to wait for a ride was like 30 hours. They were like at an exit with like their thumb. It took 30 hours before someone picked them up.
Damn.
So, but I mean, I met a lot of interesting people doing that. I was just like, if somebody goes crazy, I'll just like floor it and then crash into something.
I mean, I've had that exact thought before in my car. Like, this guy goes nuts. I'm gonna say, everyone, let's try taking our seatbelts off for fun. I'm gonna fake it. Click. Bam, I'm gonna hit a tree. I'm gonna just absolutely wrap around it, kill myself and everyone, and I'm gonna go 130 into a tree.
But my friend and I hitchhiked one time to the movie theater in Baltimore.
Was it a sex movie theater?
No, it was not. We were going to see The People versus Larry Flint.
Sam.
You're the movie guy.
Yeah.
We like movies.
And
New John Watts.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
He's playing Larry Flint, the guy who started Hustler magazine.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
It's a really good movie. But anyway, we
On the
hitchhiked to
list.
the theater, and the first 2 rides were people that knew us. And then the last ride was a woman who was like a businesswoman, and she was frantic. And I'm like, she's like, I always pick up hitchhikers, and I'm just like, damn, this woman's on speed or something. But she got us to the theater.
Have you
That
ever
was
had
fun.
someone say ass, cash, or grass? Or have you ever said that to a hitchhiker?
Hell,
Oh, like your forms of payment that you can take.
Yeah, that's
No,
all
I
I
didn't-
take. I got a bumper sticker. I pull over, I point to it. And they
no,
go,
I didn't want any money or anything. I
Gotta
just
sign a
liked the
license plate.
conversation.
well, you don't need money. You could also get grass or ass. I mean, it's a 3-part system.
The thing is, I love to like talk to people that I don't know and like listen
Very
about
fair.
their lives. And
The problem is I need like 3 beers before I get to that point truly, so I'd have to be drunk driving them in a way to be like really like, oh, come on, fill up the car.
yeah,
So at that
Yeah.
point, it's like, I probably am going to wrap around that tree.
If you're in that desperate of a situation where you're hitchhiking, do you think you would hop in if a guy's drunk driving?
What?
I've had a couple beers. Hop on in. It's
Yeah.
like, I'll wait for the
I
next
think
guy.
better.
Yeah.
I think better when I'm drunk. You've been waiting 30 hours.
sure,
Get in
30
this
hours in,
fucking
yeah.
car right now.
I went to
30 hours, that's ridiculous.
my favorite places to visit were the truck stops. So I used to go to the truck stops and take Polaroids of stuff at the truck stops.
Lot
I
lizards.
have like a
Yeah.
whole photo album of Polaroids from the truck stops, and I think I was using expired film too, because I think they had just
It's got a cool effect on
there was
it.
nothing left. But that was a really weird trip. What a weird trip that was. I need
like
to do
a
that
cool
again.
Photography series, though. You know, a lot of people post their little.
I
Have you
started
ever
my-
post
yeah.
those anywhere?
Well, I started my YouTube channel, not my YouTube channel, Instagram during that trip because I didn't have anywhere to put all my photos. So if you go back through I don't know why Instagram doesn't have a feature where you can't just look at your oldest photos.
You gotta scroll for fucking ever.
Right,
I know
I
I've
got
had that
scrolled
shit since like
4,000
2012 or something. Like,
I just can't do it. But yeah, that was that, and I would take pictures of the people the hitchhikers, and basically anyone I met, I took a picture of. So it was kind of like doing the photos, and eventually I'll have like a show, but I don't want to show the Polaroids. I want to actually do scans and then print them out.
nice.
Like I just did these. These are for sale now, but these are like my new, like, this is like I just call it Baltimore hell. But like this is
Oh, nice.
I found all this stuff in a motel room.
Oh. Is that a bouncy ball?
Give me that.
Give my mind.
Yeah.
And then look,
Is there a
here's,
cigarette in there?
I know there's a podcast, I'm doing like visual stuff, but this is the largest rat I've ever seen.
Oh.
It was like the
You
size
need to
of-
put a quarter next
Yeah,
to it.
you
next
need
time.
to have a banana.
Wait,
or
is there a
something.
quarter
thing,
next to it?
little thing
There's
next
a
to it.
little.
Oh, that is a. Is that?
a
No,
nickel.
that's stepped on bubblegum, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's its foot flattened out.
Yeah.
Oh.
it was so disgusting, but yeah, I just
I have dabbled in some photography and some collage work and whatnot. It's a nice artistic expression.
I didn't know if I could sell pictures of a trash can, but people are buying tonight. My phone keeps going off, so I'm very happy about that.
There you go.
You know, people want to have a picture of a bunch of skeletal pieces that I found at Lincoln Park from a suicide.
Totally
Horrible.
derailment. Sorry, but I've gotten the glasses. Do they look perfectly like I have cartoon eyes and eyebrows in the
What?
sunglasses, like with those lights? Wait,
Why is your screen half the
know.
size of everyone else's?
oh,
Yeah, it's true. It's
fuck,
like
it
a.
is.
I didn't even notice.
Just have a little computer.
Oh.
it's because I'm technically using OBS, and then
And then he makes his camera source smaller for some reason.
I would just like to make Stalt work a little for it. You know, I just want the editor
Make
to
it
have a
easier.
little. I just forget, honestly. And you're the first person to ever bring it up to me, so
Yeah.
I brought it up
honestly,
once.
I
I was like, that's, and then you
get
were like,
fucked.
meh. Yeah, you were. I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't care. I don't care enough
artistic,
to.
okay.
Yeah,
It's,
he wants a
Yes,
black
I'll take care
border.
of it.
Behind you with the fire on it, right? Like
What?
that's a large screen television.
Yeah.
It could be real. Could be a really flat fire. I mean, the magic is in the unknowing.
Dude, which one is that? Because the only one that we can find for our TV is like, it's just a shitty version of that. It doesn't look that cool.
It's a
Is
knock.
your
Yeah.
TV sideways,
What-
or is actual like?
Look at
It's just
all-
so strange on the thing. Oh, okay. Now, okay, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
this is my. It looks very different from where I'm sitting versus when I turn around. But this is my office. I finally had some people in it recently, and they realized how like it's very hard to move around, and it's not very because they're like, yeah, people always tell me to put big shit behind me. You can't.
Yeah,
There's
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 closet.
head. You know, there's disco ball. There's brazier. There's this light. It's a lot of. I
The
hit my head a
shrine.
lot.
Gumball
Shrine, It's
machine.
very narrow.
The blazing
Yeah, it's very narrow.
bonfire.
I've got a goddamn little coffee table kind of in between the fire and the couch, so it's not. It's good where I sit. This is the best seat in the house.
It's
The couch is not very comfortable.
Is it not? It looks
good.
It looks
Yeah,
good.
it's a problem. Aesthetically, it's a great looking couch, but it's not.
It's no
I've got a
Lincoln.
system. I got a couple of pillows I put behind my back. I've got a little robe I wear.
I fucked up. I bought a couch just for looks too, and then I sit in. It's
This is a gimme,
excruciating.
so I'm not gonna,
Mine was horrific. Some fucking bullshit couch from Article, and it's like it was way too fucking expensive.
Your boat couch and chair do not visually look comfortable, but I bet they
No,
look
those
good.
are actually comfortable, and they're $200 for a full ass living
Yeah, I
room
know, I'm
set.
sure, yeah.
It was like the
I'll sit
cheapest
in
thing in
them
my
one
house,
day.
hands down.
When we
Super
do those
comfy.
collages, yeah, I'll sit right in it.
Yeah, yeah, you can come on down. I don't know. I might be moving to Colorado. I don't know.
Well,
You might want to wait
and
till I
then
go there.
You should move to Colorado.
Yeah, thinking
should
about
come
it.
up sometime.
Florida sucks, dude. It's just so fucking hot.
After having out-of-staters, I realized I can actually throw a pretty goddamn good Indiana tour. Like, there's more here than meets the eye. I changed some minds. Okay, one person. I changed a guy's
Dan
opinion.
just wants weed on every corner, and
No, honestly, the older I
not
get,
be
the
in
more
Florida.
charming my hometown becomes. The more I'm like, this is actually
Really?
great. You know.
No, that's
When
why
I
I want to leave before I'm like that, because
Yeah.
my brother's like that. All of a sudden, he very much he appreciates our hometown and the state. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
we
oh, dude, I
appreciate
gotta get
that,
the fuck out of here before I fall in love with this.
you still have disdain.
Yeah,
for it.
I still got this stink in my mouth when I'm walking around here. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
how much older is he? 5?
He's 5 years.
You got about 5 years to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I'll figure it out, guys. I'll get out.
I really like living in Baltimore because we have the trains here. So if I can go to New
Public
York,
transportation will be good here.
I can go to New York. It just takes 2 hours. The train station's 2 blocks away, or I can go to DC, Philly.
Love DC. Philly.
DC is a day trip. It takes on the train. It takes about 25 minutes.
That's not bad at all. Damn.
Yeah.
So it's really convenient here, and you're in Baltimore.
I didn't realize how close Baltimore was.
The prices in DC and New York are outrageous. So if you live here in Baltimore, it's like it's comparatively it's very cheap compared to
Substantially, probably cheaper.
DC. That's a lot of people from DC live here now and take the train, so they don't have to pay for these apartments in DC.
Indianapolis, they just had a thing where it's like, this is about the second worst state to live in if you want to grow your income in terms of like the jobs here. But my job's not super affected by that. And it's also, the only thing it ranks well for, not education, not, perks or anything, but the cost of living is so incredibly goddamn low. It's pretty awesome.
That's what was keeping me here too.
Yeah, if I lived in any big city I want to live in, I'd be absolutely financially savaged. I mean, I wouldn't be able to pay these taxes from a year ago that I can still barely pay.
Florida doesn't have
income tax. Yeah, that's something to think about. Colorado's got income tax. That's scary. Never mind, I changed my mind. I love Florida.
The income tax isn't as bad. It's all right. I mean, it sucks.
I'm not
but
a fan of Florida.
yeah,
I like it. I could when I lived there when I was it was like 2003. I think I lived there for a year, and I couldn't stand it. It was the heat, but like and it's so weird now because
it's the humidity that'll get you.
I lived in St. Petersburg. At that time, St. Pete was like a tired. It was like Cocoon, like the fucking movie Cocoon, like old people with walkers and shit like that. Now it's like this little cosmopolitan city. They've really built it up, but I lived in this like cheesy rooming house, and I worked at Carrabba's. I fucking hated it there. I wanted to kill myself.
Flat there. So flat. And just
You guys keep talking shit, but my grandma lived there.
I don't like the
My
flora.
95-year-old grandma lived there.
And to be honest,
like,
the fauna ain't too hard either. I don't like a lot of the creature and plant life of Florida. You can't climb a tree there. It's too rough.
Your fire's out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, now I'm on
I love Miami. I really love Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Excuse me. The fire factory.
I got to throw more
Stoke it.
logs. More logs in
you
there.
gotta Did it just turn into an aquarium for a second?
It said cozy times or something, and it's like a couch.
All right. Well, hey, I want to wrap this thing up. I unfortunately have some business tomorrow, so I have to go to bed early. Thank you,
Well,
Mr. Dan.
That was a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anytime.
We're wrapping it up, Poob. You got any closing statements?
I'd like to double back and retract. These are real sunglasses that I bought, and they're cool. And I'm going to wear them for now till ever because they conceal a lot. And I got nothing.
Okay.
I got no closing. Watch Dan's channel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you wanna plug anything?
Plug some stuff.
It's classic podcast
No.
etiquette.
He's like, no,
No.
fuck that shit.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
just-
You don't want these viewers. They're not that
I mean, look,
They're
me.
good.
Uh,
The patrons are good. The others,
Yeah.
but you can change. Brian, you got anything? Any closing remarks? Anything you wanna? You've been real talky.
I'm fucking tired as hell, man.